Welcome to the Laithwaite Community Stadium for this National League match between Woking and our very own Boston United. Now, normally you'd join us at 4 minutes to 3 and the teams will be coming out and we'll be hearing the roar of the crowd, but we've actually got a little bit longer to wait for kick-off with a 3 minute past 3 kick-off as part of this 3 up, 3 down campaign. So it means we can talk to our summariser, Christian James, for a little bit longer. And first of all, Christian, how do you see today going?
I think it's difficult to call and to really sit on that fence. I think we're not used to Boston losing too many games in a row, and given they have lost their last 2 in the league, you'd like to think it'd be a result today. I think it'll be tight. 2 teams that tend to concede 1 or 2. I think it's a tough test, but I think Boston have got to be confident. They're low on numbers. They're probably going to need to do it with those that are starting the game. There's not a great deal of opportunity to change things from the bench, unfortunately. So let's see how we go. I think Linnell John Lewis back in the team is big. I like Matty Carson at left back, but it's at the expense of Lancashire out with injury, and shame not to have the craft of Donnelly as well. So positives and negatives, really.
It's just that frustration, isn't it? We talk about them in a minute. 2 new signings, exciting, and then we get here and find out there's 2 more injuries. It really is that, as Graham Coughlin scored it, that roller coaster of emotions, isn't it?
Yeah, you're starting to feel like Boston are getting to the stage again where they've got the luxury of leaving people out, and then you come here and there's 2 empty spots on the bench. The bench in full. I mean, you've got a goalkeeper, a young defender in Ben Grist, a very young, a youth defender really in Finley Ging, and then it's Liam Waldock and Geordie Hawula. That's it. So a bit of midfield legs, and then Geordie as a presence up front. But there's not a great deal to change things. I think tweaks are going to have to be to formation, to shape, to impetus, as opposed to personnel today, and that's going to be a real challenge that the management are going to have to conquer.
If we just finally on this one, just go through the Boston, we were doing it a few minutes ago, the Boston players that are missing. So you've got Kieran Donnelly, Alex Lancashire, Jordan Cropper, Greg Sloggett, Jacob Scott, Jacob Hazel, Tommy Fogarty, Michael Kelly and Billy Bradley. Yes, maybe a couple of them wouldn't, but the majority of them are getting in the first team, aren't they?
Yeah, of course they are. Jacob Hazel's been a huge loss all season. Greg Sloggett, you'd have probably had a debate with him and realistically Hill, I think, or Rasheen, I suppose, coming straight in. Kieran Donnelly or Kennebo up front. One would have been a good starter, one would have been a good option on the bench. Alex Lancashire's a miss. Boston have looked poor when he hasn't played. The last game he missed was Morecambe, of course. And look how that one ended. Wow. And then Tommy Fogarty away on international duty, just when you don't need him to disappear.
So the 2 teams they're coming out at 1 minute to 3, because like I say, we're starting at 3 minutes past 3. Boston United all in their amber kit, everything, shirt, short and socks. Woking white with red sleeves, black shorts and black socks. I beg your pardon, because they come up with the backs to me, it's a red and white stripe. There's me saying white, so you can just see the... Anyway, let me start that again. Woking, red and white stripes, black shorts, black socks. The Boston United fans, if you know the ground here at Woking, they're in the open terrace opposite where the press area is here. There's a huge stand behind the goal to our right, a really impressive one they built when they had a run of, was it 3 FA trophies?
3 and 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Used the money to build a brilliant looking stand. The Boston United fans have got about 9 seats, maybe a few more.
Yes,
12.
They had a strip last year of that big stand. But no, they're under some scaffolding this year. They look to all have been taken up, the away seats, so there you go. We've sold that stand out. And
there's a few Boston fans there, though, isn't there? It looks a good following.
Yeah, I'm very impressed. There's one chap in short sleeves and some shorts, which is very brave. It's certainly not that sort of afternoon.
Are you regretting not bringing your coat yet?
Not yet, but I'm definitely not regretting not dressing like that chap. Good luck to him. He's maybe been well lubricated on the way down, but no, probably a couple of hundred there, which is really impressive. Quite a bit of travelling to be done in November, and they've come out in force down in Surrey today.
Really good. So that Boston United team then, just to remind you, 3 changes from the side that lost against Rochdale. Lancashire, Sloggett and Hawula replaced by Matty Carson, Oshin Gallagher and Linnell John Lewis. So the team in full: Reece Lovett in goal, back 4 of Lavineer, Mills, Teal and Carson. The 2 holding midfielders will be Gallagher and Richards. The 3 in front: Maguire, Hill and a bow with Linnell John Lewis up front. On the bench, just the 5 subs for Boston United today, and Killian Barrett, the new keeper, Ben Grist, Geordie Hawula, Liam Waldock and Finley Ging, as a bit of Elvis blazes out of the ties. Boston United and Woking both having their huddles before this 3 minutes past 3 kick-off here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Love it. I think forgot there was a huddle as he's just had to go and join it at the last seconds. The Woking team then, or do you fancy singing a bit of Elvis for us, Christian?
No, I think I'll save you with that.
Are you feeling it? Is it getting you in the
We're a couple of hundred miles away from
football?
Sunderland. This is Sunderland's thing, isn't it? But no, don't mind it. Might save it for the car journey home.
So the Cardinals in Woking, they make 3 changes. Their last game was a 1-0 win at Tamworth. Tunji Akinola, Jamie Andrews and Ashley Boatswain replaced by Timmy Odusina, Josh Kelly and Jake Forster-Caskey. So their team in full. Will Jaskalainen in goal. Aaron Drew, Chin Akoli, Timmy Odusina and Caleb Richards are on the defence. And then we think it's a similar in terms of 5 midfielders. Harry Beautyman, Matt Ward, Josh Kelly, Timmy Akinola and Jake Forster-Caskey, with Ollie Sanderson, who scored their goal at Tamworth, up front. On the bench, Craig Ross, who's also one of the coaches, Jamie Andrews, Josh Asood, Tarek Hines, Tunji Akinola, Jack Turner and Ashley Boatswain. The referee just waiting for the 3 minutes past 3 to hit here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. With Boston United to get us underway, and they'll be shooting as we look from right to left. So they'll be shooting towards the rather crowded terrace of Woking fans behind their goalkeeper Jaskalainen's goal. And as always, we wait for the exact minute, and that minute today is 3 minutes past. And as the ground just goes silent, waiting for this kick-off time, referee just checking his watch. He's got to get it right today, more than any other day, really, Christian.
Yeah, it's all part of the protest, isn't it? All part of the awareness. And as usual, we've been really early, and now we've had a false start.
How many false starts do we see? I've seen loads.
Yeah, they're clearly so raring to go. Stood waiting for a couple of minutes. Matty Carson was about halfway to the touchline. So
we are underway here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Woking against Boston United, and Boston have played a long ball forward, and it goes out for a goal kick. Will Jaskalainen, the son of former Premier League goalkeeper UC Jaskalainen, played for Bolton and West Ham. Trying to think if he played for anybody else.
Probably didn't.
I think he was. I know he was at Bolton for a very long time, wasn't he? Very good goalkeeper.
And we've got 2 4-4-2s this afternoon.
So there's us saying it with 2-4-2-3-1s.
Yeah.
We've got 2 4-4-2s with a bow. Is it a bow? I think,
Maguire's up there. A bow's tight to the right hand side.
And that's a long ball forward from Boston United, but it won't get to Lenny John Lewis. And I think the important thing is with this formation, so it could be a 4-4-2, it could also go into that 4-2-3-1. It's just that Lenny doesn't get isolated up there. Yeah,
that's the key. You've got willing runners, you've got Hill, who's got a fantastic engine, and then you've got a little bit more incision and craft maybe with Maguire and a bow as well, and then the two in midfield to sit in front of the back four. So there's opportunity to move things around. We weren't quite sure how Woking were going to set as well. Boston could revert to a diamond. They can go 4-2-3-1. Given the lack of options on the bench, especially, I think we probably are going to see 2 or 3 different iterations of this Boston.
I think that's key 11. more than ever today, isn't it? That they do rotate things on the pitch as they ever throw. Lavernier throws it towards John Lewis, who wins the header. It is headed away. Beautyman tries to make something of it and does win a throw in off the Boston United man Gallagher. If you're just joining us, 2 new signings announced this morning. Killian Barrett, goalkeeper, 21-year-old, 6'3", is on the bench from Sheffield Wednesday because the other keeper, French, have been called back by Leicester, and a bit of competition for Reece Lovett, which is always healthy. And then Noshin Gallagher re-signed from Lincoln City on loan until the beginning of January. Played 5 times on his first spell here and impressed for Lincoln the other night as well at Barnsley, so a great signing. But it's Boston that have the ball at the moment with Maguire battling away, but he is dispossessed by Odusina, and it's Woking now that play the ball forward, and the man Kelly there just slips, and Boston need to clear this and do through Mills. Now Richards in midfield, plays it across to Carson, who's coming at a left back today. Hasn't actually played left back for a while, Carson. He's been more higher up the pitch, but injury to Alex Langshire. Ball forward from Lovett, he's flicked on by Lewis, and then Richards will try and win the second header and does. Maguire just hooks that ball forward for Dylan Hill to chase. He's up against Aaron Drew, who goes back to his goalkeeper Jaskalainen. Hill putting him under a bit of pressure. Jaskalainen has to go long. It's a free header for Carson. Now John Lewis, who's bundled in to the back by Ockley, and it's a free kick to Boston in a good position. Yeah, they did well there, just put pressure on the men. They let the goalkeeper have a free kick out. Hill kind of left him, but they were matched up in the midfield and won the challenges to get the ball into John Lewis. Then John Lewis fouled, and we've got a free kick, 35 yards out maybe. A good crossing opportunity. I'd have thought probably the left foot of Carson to kind of whip it through that corridor between sort of penalty spot and the 6-yard box. So will it be like the outswinger from Carson or the in swinger from Maguire. They're both over the ball. Carson with his yellow boots looks to be the favourite to take this one. Boston United, can they get themselves an early goal? We're into the 4th minute here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire, as referee just having a word with somebody inside the penalty area, but it will be Carson with the left foot, and then it's headed towards goal and pushed around the post. It was Gallagher that got his head onto the ball. It's a really good save from Jaskalainen, and he had to get down and tip that round the post.
Yeah, good effort that for the Pilgrims in just the 4th minute. Gallagher looking to cap his second debut with a goal, a firm header. I thought it slightly undone it really, Carson, with the delivery. It was behind the last man, but he got his neck round it, arced it down towards that bottom corner, and early work for Jaskalainen to do.
It's Boston United's first corner of the afternoon. Can they get themselves in front? Carson has gone across to take this one. Everybody is in the 6-yard box, bar Lavernier and obviously Lovett and Carson, but every other player are in that 6-yard box,
and that usually ends with a foul.
Usually does. Can Boston get that early goal? They nearly did through Gallagher. His header well saved.
I think Carson could shoot here. They've all congregated at the near post. Jaskalainen's betwixt and between.
You think he's going to shoot?
I think he might do.
Is that one of those famous moments from a summariser? We'll find out. Here comes the corner from Carson. Boston, everybody's run out. Carson, it's punched away by Jaskalainen, and then there's going to be a shot driven in, and it's well blocked. It was a bow with the effort. It was a good block. Lavernier now has it, hooks it forward towards the penalty, towards John Lewis. It's headed away. Boston battling to try and win it back, and it's just hoofed away by Osina. And now it's the home side coming forward with the number 30, Ollie Sanderson, on the left hand side. Gets his cross in. Jordan Richards does really well to head that one away, and Boston will look to try and pick this up in midfield with a bow. It's a good turn by Ben, but he is tackled by Beautyman, but it'll end up with Lavernier in the right back position. This time he goes long towards John Lewis, but I think that ball is going to go out of play. No, I'm wrong. John Lewis did so well to keep that ball in, then lays it across to Maguire. It's been a good start this for Boston United. Richards cross to the left hand side now where Mills has the ball. Out to Hill on the left hand side for the Pilgrims. Plenty of options ahead of him. Richards in the midfield goes across to Lavernier, who had come forward but just has to track back a little bit, down to a bow, back to Lavernier. Good play from Boston. Lavernier dispossessed, but a bow picks it up for the Pilgrims. Now Richards near the centre circle, across to Carson on the left. Hill, who started a bit on the left at the moment. Carson plays the ball forward, but Mills had come backwards. He was the furthest forward. Then Maguire will look to put Osina under pressure, but the big centre-half manages to clear, but Boston will pick this up through Gallagher, who was the furthest man back, and he calmly goes back to his keeper. Love it.
Boston picking up the second balls
Good
in midfield. Start. Yeah, really good start, and they're being able to recycle when things don't come off. Both teams are looking to be quite direct, and probably is going to be a game of second balls. At the minute, Boston are winning them.
Ball forward towards John Lewis again, battling away. It comes to a bow on the edge of the penalty area. Thought about the shot, then finds Lewis on the right hand side. John Lewis comes inside. He's just dispossessed, and Woking will clear through Forster Kaskin. It's a long ball forward, and now they're in trouble here. Boston United, as Kelly has it on the left hand side of the penalty area. Mills just looking to hold him up. He's gone past that, Mills though. Kelly plays it across, and it's the opening goal. No, it's offside. Well, Boston United, the ball across from Kelly. I didn't quite see who came in there.
I think it was Sanderson.
For the tap-in, Sanderson would make sense. He's the centre forward, but the flag went straight up. It looked, to be fair, I think he did look offside. But Boston, there's the warning. They're getting them forward, but then Mills was pretty isolated there against Kelly, wasn't it? They don't want to be over-committing.
No, and I don't think that needed touching in. I think that's a little bit of I think it maybe was. I'd like to see it back. I'm not sure Boston were going to clear that one, and they maybe got away with it there. An early offside goal, but as you say, Mills isolated. He seemed to have held things up, and then they got round the outside of him, and Boston, having dominated early proceedings, had a lot of the ball in midfield and in the Woking half. Very, very nearly found themselves behind there. So yeah, two teams, as I say, going to be direct. I think the ball's going to be quite end to end. They're both going to kind of stand and give as good as they get, and Boston nearly there, conceding an opener.
I just think that's a real warning for Boston United, because they were so outnumbered. And here's Kelly again up against Till. He's looked lively so far, Kelly, and Boston do win it back, and Lavernier will bring it away. It's been rather open, hasn't it, the game? And then the referee, that foul on Lavernier, I think, and he's given Boston United a free kick.
Yeah, and that's 2 or 3 times we've seen that the ball forward from Woking has been long, and it's been attacking Connor Teal, or I think more accurately attacking Matt Ward on the left side of the forward line.
Boston United ball forward from Carson to Maguire, who falls over, backing into the defender. He's back at the way to try and keep this on the floor there. Maguire is outnumbered, and then, well, he's adjudged to giving away a free kick. I mean, it looks 6-1 after, doesn't either. I think, personally, the referee should have just carried on, but it's a free kick to Woking.
Yeah, just taking the temperature of this one, I think the referee, interesting to know where his kind of threshold is for some of these battles, because we've seen 2 or 3 early doors and he's generally let them go, but Maguire penalised there, and the game just settles down a little bit, quite frantic. I wouldn't say either side have had complete control. I don't think it's been that sort of game. I don't think other sides are looking for that really, kind of, a couple of minutes with the ball, with possession, trying to slowly build. I think it's going to be second balls and landing on things and clearing your lines, and often that makes for an entertaining contest.
As Woking go along and they win a throw in, Mills heads it away. I'd say that probably one good chance each.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the teams at the moment. It's been a lively start here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. 0-0 between Woking and Boston United, and it's the Cardinals, the home side, that have the ball at the moment, with the ball forward for Mills to deal with. He heads it away, and Boston look to pick the second ball up through Maguire. He just hoofs that ball long towards John Lewis, who's adjudged to have fouled Ockley, and the centre halves against John Lewis already 9 minutes in. It's a fascinating battle, isn't it?
Yeah, we've seen one decision go which way, haven't we? John Lewis won that free kick about 10 yards further up the pitch, penalised there, but yeah, I think they're nicely matched back there, and both centre half pairings going to have to deal with a lot of balls out of defence, out from the goalkeepers, and then it's up to the midfield to land on the seconds. And in that first 5 minutes Boston did that. Since then Woking just landed on a couple in behind, and as we've said, nearly contributed to the game's opening goal.
John Lewis charging down a clearance there, and then Dylan Hill did really well. The centre half, Chin Ockley, the skipper, just took a slightly heavy touch. Hill was there, kicked it against him, won Boston a throw in, which Carson's going to take right in front of us here. We're sat just behind the home dugout. You can't actually see Graham Coughlin in the away dugout. Must be stood up, surely.
You'd have thought so.
But we can't see, but they're quite high dugouts. Throw in from Carson. Hill can't get there, and Woking have won the ball back. Hill trying to win Boston another throw in, but they managed to get the ball forward here, Woking, and it's in that bit of play where we can't see the pitch. But Boston win it back now with Gallagher. Across to Lavernier on the far side. Plays the ball down the line, but Bower comes short. Lavernier went long, and that'll go through to Jaskalainen. 0-0.
Haven't had the chance yet, just to clarify that Boston shape. Dylan Hill is wide on the left.
I think it's 4-2-3-1. But
you reckon?
I do.
Certainly a
the
Bower
joy
right
of
Hill
my
left.
job, it's the summarise that has to work it out, not me.
There you go.
So Kelly does well to get past Mills. Lovett's got to come out here and does really well there. Sweep it up, Lovett. He read it very early and boots it into touch.
Yeah, Mills really needed to win the ball there. He did, and thankfully Lovett was quick to
Mills
it.
needs to get up.
Yeah, he
does.
Dear. This is a concern.
Remind you, Boston United have only got 5 subs today, and goalkeeper Barrett, Grist, Hawula, Waldock and Ging. So we went through that list of Boston United players. So Lancashire and Donnelly have been added to the injury list. Michael Kelly's not in the squad due to a family bereavement. We send him our best. And Tommy Fogarty's on international duty. So there's the 4 names. Greg Sloggett obviously as well was involved in the last game, but Zach Mills, and this is the problem with Mills, isn't it? He has a run of games and then there's just he seems to get injured.
Yeah, it's the nature of the beast. I think with Zach Mills, unfortunately, he has missed a lot of games in his Boston United career. Start number 200 today. I think he's missed something like 80 games across his time with Boston.
Wow.
80 competitive games he potentially could have been involved in. So, yeah, he's always been that way, unfortunately. And today, when you've got a fairly young side, and you really do need that leadership with no Sloggett in the midfield as well. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we're going to see too much more of Zach Mills.
I didn't see the physio gesture the sub sign to the bench, but he cleared around and said something into his as he is now.
Yeah,
so we have an injury break. Zach Mills. Sorry, Chris, were you going to say something then?
I was going to say I can't see Ben Grist nor anyone else. Well, they're down on this left-hand side, sorry. There's quite a few structures in the way here.
And we can see Graham Coughlin now.
Yes,
there he is.
He is here.
He is on the pitch, talking to a few Boston United players. So it's 0-0 here. Plenty of National League games going on today, and I've delegated today to Christian to keep us up to date.
Yes,
with these scores.
3 goals elsewhere so far. 2 of them have come up at Hartlepool, where it's 1 apiece.
I'm just going to interrupt you very quickly. I think Zach Mills is coming off. Linnell John Lewis has put the captain's armband on. Pretty sure Mills is going to have to come off. We presume it'd be Ben Grist that's coming on.
It's Waldock
Although he's in
coming on.
conversation with Waldock, but Gallagher, centre half.
Yes.
Of course, he can play there.
And
He
then
played
you
there
can
for Lincoln.
Shift Hill into that central role.
But
Hill's been playing wide left.
That's sensible. So
I can
as
see it both ways.
Mills is hobbling off.
It's 3 changes for the price of 1 in terms of shuffling people around, but I think you're ending up with people in more comfortable positions. So yeah, Boston have got to completely reorganise their ranks. Goals elsewhere. It's currently Hartlepool 1, Wealdstone 1. The goals there, Alex Reid after 3 minutes for the hosts against his former side, of course. Nathan Tushkuna equalising 2 minutes later, so that one was 1-1 after just 5 minutes. The other goal in the division is an ex-Pilgrim. It's James Gale. He's opened the scoring for Altrincham. They're 1-0 up at home to Brackley.
So Boston United, they're making their first change in the 14th minute. Zach Mills in conversation now with Graham Coughlin. And the thing with Mills, though, he's one of them. He's a warrior. He would carry on. He's always reluctant to come off. It's a shame. So Boston United just reshaping at the moment, as Christian said. We'll just see how it goes before we explain it. But it's Woking that have a throw in front of the Boston United fans, and it's they that are coming forward. Hill goes in and wins the ball. This is a real opportunity for Liam Waldock as well, isn't it now?
Yes, it is. Left out. He made 6 starts in a row and then reduced down to a bench appearance last week. And like we saw with Carlson with the Sloggett injury last week, dropped to the bench and then just got the chance early to come on and show what he can do.
As Boston trying to win this ball back in the right back position, Lavernier and a Bow do, and then it's ball forward from Maguire looking for the run of Linnell John Lewis, who's been a pain for those defenders, but that was really cool from Ockley, and plays the ball long. Boston got some defending to do here now. It's gone out. So yeah, just a little bit of a shuffle for Boston United. The back four is Lavernier, Gallagher, Teal, and Carson, with still Richards and now Hill as the holding midfielders, with Waldock, Maguire, and Bow as those 3, with John Lewis up front. So
and Teal's come across the left centre half as well. So initially those balls that were targeting the Boston defensive right were landing on Teal, and Mills was having to cover. Well, he's now gone to the left side, and Gallagher's going to be charged with dealing with Josh Kelly.
Oh, now then, that was late. That was very late on John Lewis. Boston United are surrounding the referee here. They're not happy with the tackle. I think it'll be a yellow.
Yeah, it tends to be straight away if it's going to be anything more.
It's the number 5, the centre half, Timmy Odesina. Just having a word with him now, but you could hear John Lewis. It was maybe again one of them that you hear a player scream, probably looked a bit worse, sounded or looked a bit worse than it probably was. It was certainly an innocent attempt for the ball, but I'd have seen the centre half on a yellow.
Yeah, late one that. I don't think we mind seeing, from a Boston point of view, a centre half on a booking quite early in the game. We are just 17 minutes in, having kicked off those few minutes late, of course. And yeah, if John Lewis is going to continue to have a battle up there, he's now got a man that's on a bit of a handicap.
Boston have a free kick on the halfway line for Carson, plays it out to the right hand side now. Can they get the ball in the box? A Bow running at the defender now. He's made himself a bit of space. Can he get the cross in? Nobody wins. Boston United a corner, their second of the game. Great play. Yeah,
it's going to be down the right hand side again. I think everyone telegraphed what was coming there. Carson had closed himself off. He was going to play the ball out to the right hand side with his left foot. That's what he did. Bow had 2 men on him, but still managed to get him behind, take the deflection, and it is another corner.
The right hand side has been the threat, really, hasn't it, early on?
Yeah, it's a shame for us sitting on this far side, but both teams are looking to attack down that far side of the pitch, aren't they? Woking down there.
You know what happened in the second half?
Yeah, they'll switch it round.
Change and
absolutely. Good news for those Boston fans. They're on the opposite side to us, and they're getting all the play so far.
Carson with this corner for Boston United. Can they get themselves in front? It's headed away by Ockley, but it'll come out to Hill. Goes back to Lavernier in the centre circle, looking to pick his spot, and overhits that one. It'll be gathered by Jääskeläinen. First local goal in terms of BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Bourne have taken the lead at Loughborough Students by a goal to nil. Sam Bailey with the goal for Bourne. Number no game for Gainsborough Trinity today. Stamford and Spalding are both away. They're 0-0s at the moment. Here is 0-0 for Boston. Lincoln United are 0-0 at home to Blyth. Lincoln City, of course, should a 0-0 at home to Doncaster. At the moment, 18 minutes played. Remember, Boston United, if you're just joining us, think, there's been a delay. Just a delay to the kick-off. 3 minutes past 3 today, the kick-off, part of the campaign for this 3 up, 3 down. And it's a free kick now for the home side. Jääskeläinen takes it long. Gallagher heads away. Very tall Gallagher is going to be dominant in the air. Boston win a free kick. It's a foul on Hill. Gallagher looked to take the free kick quickly, but I think this is also why Ocean Gallagher's a very good signing, because not only can he's a midfielder, but he can just slot in that back four, no problems. You know, it's not like you're playing a player out of position.
No, not
does it
at all.
Naturally.
Not at all. We've got that with Dylan Hill as well. You know, those
Yes,
two have both
I agree.
adapted to make that change possible. Quite an attacking change on the surface. Zach Mills taken off in the heart of defence and Waldock, an attacking midfielder, coming on, but it has taken Hill into that more withdrawn role and pushed Gallagher back, as you've said. And versatility is going to be key when you've only got 14 outfielders.
Exactly. Boston United only naming 5 subs. Nothing came of that, and Woking won themselves a throw in, and now they're coming forward with Matt Ward down the Woking right, pulls it back to Drew. Boston getting men back quickly here. Drew has it again. Now he gives it to the number 23, Akinola, who's got his first name on the back, and Timmy. Boston win it back there with Hill, and it goes across to Lavineer, and again it's that right hand side where Boston look the threat. A bow, him against Caliber Richards is going to be a fascinating battle this afternoon. A bow finds Lavineer, who made an overlapping run, comes inside now. Marcel Lavineer pulls it back to a bow, just in time, got the ball and twisted back to Hill. Here's crossing towards Maguire. That's a great save from Jaskalainen. He headed it towards the bottom corner. Jaskalainen full stretch. It's a brilliant save. Ali's held on to it.
Yeah, fantastic work.
Outstanding goalkeeping. Great build-up.
Good build-up play from United. Lavineer, nice touch in behind, then laid it off for a bow. His route was blocked, and Hill had deputised. They had 3 down that right-hand side. Hill delivered the cross. Maguire, not the man you'd necessarily choose to be on the end of it, but a fantastic header, hard and low. And as you say, Jaskalainen and Dubod to both keep hold of it, to stop it and to keep hold of it.
It's a brilliant save. He's made 2 really good saves in this opening 20 minutes. Jaskalainen. I just hope Boston don't go to rue those chances, as Woking have a free kick on the halfway line, and Drew now gets the ball on the right hand side. Waldock's with him, but Drew crosses towards the back post. Boston need to clear it. It came off the head of Lavineer, and then Gallagher, already 20 minutes, looks very assured. Ocean Gallagher. We've been discussing his first name all morning, haven't we? John Lewis then fouls the defender, and it's a free kick to Woking just inside the Boston half.
Yeah, and we are starting to see a few more fouls creep into the game. That's 8 already, 5 against the Pilgrims, and largely in this midfield pack. Early on they were landing on the second balls. They're now just second to the challenge, and albeit only the one man's been booked, and that's the hosts Odesina, but the Pilgrims just starting to give away a couple of fouls in midfield.
Apart from the foul on John Lewis, they're these little fouls, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? That it's not a dirty game or anything like that. As the ball forward now, but Lovett comes out and gathers well, and it's competitive. I think it's probably the best way to describe them. I know Boston have had a couple of headers, but there's not a lot between the two teams at the moment, as Lovett goes very long towards Linnell John Lewis, who's battling away. Now John Lewis does well to turn there and goes down. That's a free kick. That might be a yellow card for Ockley, because he was away there.
I think it probably ought to be, and
I think so.
John Lewis very honest there. He tried his best to get round
maybe
through the challenge,
save the defender.
Yeah, maybe so. He has advanced another 5 yards up the pitch though, so this has got this well within Frankie Maguire range. It's just
Carson as well.
Yeah,
we know can hit one.
Just left of the D.
How many yards? I'm rubbish with yards.
24.
24.
Just outside the D.
So
real opportunity here for the Pilgrims.
Teal does his blocking the goalkeeper off. Maguire and Carson over the ball. It's going to take something special to beat this goalkeeper today.
Yeah, he's a good stopper. I'd have him down as one of the best in the league. Jaskalainen.
Yep. I've thought that before when we've seen him. Good keeper, all in light lime green. So, big moment here for Boston United. Can they take the lead? Woking have a 5-man wall, 24 yards out. Will it be Maguire? Will it be Carson? Referee just checking everything. Blow of the whistle. Maguire puts his arm up and goes for goal. It hits the wall. Maguire will try and win this one back, and does on the left hand side now for Boston United. Comes inside. Wardock made the overlapping run. Hits the defender. Comes back to Maguire. Tries to cross it, but the cross is blocked. Cheers from the home fans as Lavineer now picks the ball up. Finds Hill on the right hand side now for Boston United. Now a Bow looking to go at Beautyman this time. A Bow still going, twisting and turning, making himself some space. He's just inside the area. The ball has stayed in. A Bow pulls it back. Shot towards goal is blocked, and then Richards puts it over the bar. Great play by Ken Bow again. He comes inside, pulls it back. I think it was Teal with the effort on goal. Blocked, I think, just in front of the goalkeeper by a defender. And then Richards blasts it over. So again, I'd put that down as a chance.
Yeah, big opportunity. I was just noting down 4 shots on goal and 2 blocked for the Pilgrims so far, and nothing with that one be given offside for Woking. So as much as the game has sort of peaked and troughed for the Pilgrims, they're the ones that are creating. You would say largely that they've been thwarted so far, A, by good goalkeeping and B, by manful defending. But we're getting to that stage now where we're going to think if something goes up the other end and Boston go one behind, you're going to talk about ruining missed opportunities.
Which was the conversation against Rochdale last Saturday. Graham Coughlin has mentioned clinicalness many a time. He's mentioned quality. I mean, to be fair, the 2 headers were very good saves. There's not a lot more the players could have done as Waldock battling away there to win a free kick. 24 minutes gone, and really Boston, I think they've been excellent.
Yeah, I'd agree. I wouldn't say they've been wasteful in front of goal. As you said, two good saves, good blocks, but just the sheer frequency now, it is getting to that stage where you've got to say, well, you've had 4 or 5 really good chances, and whatever you come up against, you've probably got to put one away. And while you're on top, especially away from home at this level, you have got to strike while the iron's hot. And
Woking are also going to have a spell. Of course they are.
Of course they will.
So Carson now for Boston United plays the ball down the line to John Lewis, who's offside. Thought he was, and he was just the wrong side of the centre half.
Yeah, Coley had shepherded him well there, hadn't he? He'd gone in behind and he wasn't going to let him back. And one back on the copybook for the Woking centre halves, because John Lewis has had 5 or 10 minutes of joy against the pair of them.
They're struggling against him, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not happy. And to say Maguire is trying to spot, I think you're right, he is in that slightly more withdrawn role, that kind of classic number 10.
Yep.
John Lewis is occupying them both very well with belated support from Maguire and from Hill.
He's not as isolated as I've seen in previous games. There's a long ball forward for Lovett to come out. Oh, it's bounced really awkwardly, and well, Lovett looked like he was in no man's land there. The ball bounced over his head. I think he was put off by Josh Kelly just stretching for the ball, and that could have just been, well, a freakish goal.
Yeah, almost calamity there for the Pilgrims. It bounced. It wasn't particularly obvious whether it was between the posts or just wide of them from our angle. And
Lovett was scrambling.
Yeah, completely misjudged. I felt it bounced true. I don't think it bounced awkwardly.
And it's the home side coming forward now with Ward down the left, shoots towards goal, and it goes into the huge stand behind the goal.
Yeah, first sight of goal from a legal position from Woking this afternoon. It has taken 26 minutes to arrive, but a couple of hairy moments there for the Pilgrims. Again, that Woking attack coming down the United right. That channel between centre-back and Lavinia at right-back has been very fruitful for the hosts, be it Teal or Gallagher in the right position in the centre-half pairing.
So still 0-0 here. Boston United back in action next Saturday. It's a 5:30 kick-off against Carlisle for a trip to Yeovil the week after. Yeovil, who were level on points with Boston at the start of this game, and Lovett there with his kick. It's low and doesn't reach the halfway line, and Kelly has the ball for Woking. Drew, they've got men forward very quickly here. Woking, Drew now looking to try and get the ball in the box. It's headed away well by Teal on the near post at the expense of a throw-in, and that all came from a very poor Reece Lovett goal kick.
And Lovett.
Now then, Reece Lovett has gone down. Now, has he hurt himself taking that kick, do you reckon?
I don't know. I don't think having a couple of minutes is the worst idea here for Reece Lovett.
Is it the tactical?
I think I would. The couple of moments he's just had there, the goal kick out, flat straight at his defence, and the misjudged clearance. I think, yeah, let's just kind of take the temperature out of this one a little bit.
Whereas he might need it, I wouldn't necessarily say the team do.
No.
Would you?
No, I don't think there's any tactical changes to be had. I think Boston have been on top. They've adapted well since losing Mills, which has been a real positive as well. But yeah, shaky couple of moments for the Boston goalkeeper, who has now gone down and takes the treatment break, and of course everyone comes over for a drink and a chat.
Every Boston player is over. The manager's had a word with John Lewis, and now he's having a word with a few of the other players. So Christian, we'll hand over to you again for the latest scores.
Result service, a lot of home goals to tell you about. It remains Altrincham 1, Brackley 0. Boreham Wood have gone 1-0 up at home to Tamworth. Forest Green Rovers have scored twice. They're at home to Gateshead. Boyabu and Ballalola. 12 and 25 minutes in that game is 2-0 at the Lawn. There's been a home goal for Solihull Moors. They're hosting Scunthorpe. Sinclair scoring after 15. And Sutton United, they're at home today as well, and they're 1-0 up as well. Eccleston 22. The only team bucking that trend at the moment, other than Wealdstone, they've got the early equaliser at Hartlepool, are Morecambe. They're 1-0 up at the York Community Stadium. Aziz with a penalty midway through the first half. There's always one coupon buster in the National League, and at the minute it's coming in Yorkshire.
So Lovett is okay. He did receive a little bit of treatment. It's a throw in to Woking to be taken by Aaron Drew on the right hand side. Does he have a long throw? Boston don't have one today, do they?
No, all the plan Bs are gone.
They're all unavailable. So, there's Carson got one.
I'm not sure we've seen it yet. Lancashire has had a go.
Anyway, Drew
Scott
throws it
has
in.
a go.
Cleared away by Richards. Lewis holds it up and then lays it off to Hill, who plays the ball over the top for a bow on that right hand side, and he's done well to keep that one in. A bow. Back to Lavernier, into Hill in the middle of the pitch now for Boston United. 0-0, 29 minutes gone. A bow. Back to Dylan Hill, who is forced back to Oshin Gallagher. And back to Hill. Back to Gallagher. And Boston, after that little bit of pressure from Woking, will be happy to have a bit of possession. But that's a long ball from Gallagher towards Carson, who made the run forward. Wardock will pick this up for Boston United, but he's facing the wrong way, as is Richards, but goes back to Connor Teal. And now Richards again in front of the home dugout. Into Maguire. Now good touch from Carson to find Wardock. This is good possession play from Boston United as Gallagher has it. Now they're back on the right hand side with Marcel Lavernier. Down the line to Kenna Bowes. Look lively when he gets the ball. Inside to Hill. Hill gets it back from Gallagher inside the centre circle in his own half. Back across to the left back. Carson thought about the long ball but goes back to Teal. They'll be enjoying this bit of possession, Boston United. It is still 0-0, and Gallagher plays a long ball forward now, and Lavernier is goal side here into the penalty area. It goes down. Well, he wants a penalty, and the referee has now booked Dylan Hill for asking for the penalty. It's he got goal side of the defender. You'd wonder why he'd go down if there's no contact. Did Lavernier get booked as well?
I don't think so. I think he did throw a couple of arms in the referee's direction in dissent of the.
Well, it's pretty obvious what
yes,
Graham Coughlin thinks. I can't repeat exactly what he said. What were your thoughts on that one?
I think Lavernier's gone down having felt a touch. I think, if we get VAR involved and go up a few levels, it probably is a penalty. I don't think there was enough contact to necessarily take him down to the ground, but that's not what it's about anymore. The modern game is you feel a touch, it's a foul, you go down. Lavernier's done that and he'll feel hard done by. That ought to have been a foul down the right hand side on a bow as well. But
Bow went down, wanted a free kick. Referee not interested. I think one thing I would say about the Lavernier, because it was quite a theatrical fall.
Yeah, it didn't look
probably
very,
went against him.
It didn't look very organic, did it? Unfortunately,
no, but he was goal side. It was a
He
great
was
ball
goal
from
side.
Gallagher.
It was a good move again down that right hand side. Boston have really found that to be the area of threat. I'm really enjoying watching a game between two teams that see a backward pass as a negative. Both teams looking to advance the ball, to run forward, don't mind taking a man on.
Boston get a free kick, and we get the cheers from the Boston fans. Foul on Hill on the halfway line.
Yeah, very much ironic cheers from the Pilgrims fans.
I resisted saying that after my mispronunciation at Gainsborough last week before, whenever it was. But Boston have still got the ball now. Lavernier going to play it high towards Gallagher, who's coming in on the left hand side, heads it towards goal. It's gathered in by Jääskeläinen.
Yeah, Teal was up as well. I think Gallagher was trying to find his centre half partner as he's become, but no luck on that occasion. Much easier for Jääskeläinen than the two headers he's had on goal so far. And yeah, Boston again just building. Need to be careful with that back door. But a good contest, albeit goalless.
Woking are coming forward themselves now with Ward on the right. It's Wardock just holding him up. It's now back with Akinola, and he's got it back. Timmy Akinola plays it across. It's a good ball actually to Othina, and now it's over on the left hand side for Woking. Richards comes inside, the number 3, finds Beautyman, who's been very quiet. Really good player, Harry Beautyman. Plays it across field to the number 23, Akinola. Now it's with the number 2, Drew. He's played a nice 1-2. Drew's got a bit of space if he can keep the ball in, which he just about does towards the near post. Woking with a chance here, and they've scored. And it's Beautyman coming in at the back post. Boston struggled to clear. It's Woking 1, Boston 0.
Chaos in the Boston United 6-yard box. Drew did ever so well to keep the ball in down this attacking right. The ball came across, it could have been cleared at the near post, it wasn't. It landed in the middle of the 6-yard box, goalkeeper nowhere, centre half's not in the right place at the right time. It made it all the way through to the back post, and then Harry Beautyman, who, as you just said there, has been so quiet in this first half, probably couldn't believe his luck. So much time and space to pick his spot from 4 or 5 yards from goal, and Boston have had plenty, they've had the opportunities. Woking have only needed the one, but the Pilgrims there, so many opportunities to get rid of that, and it's gone all the way through the 6-yard box, 3 or 4 bounces, and yeah, not a pretty one to look back on there. 34 minutes, Pilgrims are behind.
Yes, Beautyman, it's his 4th league goal of the campaign. It makes them Woking's top scorer. They got 3 on 3 at the start of the game in Kelly and Sanderson, but it's Beautyman coming in, and you don't give him a chance like that. He'll always take it, and Harry Beautyman, great build up down the right. Beautyman, though, Boston 2 or 3 opportunities to clear, and we'll be surely looking back at those missed opportunities for Boston United. But the key here is not to let their heads drop, because they've created Boston United. They're in this game, but it's Woking that had the lead. Drew, who was instrumental in that goal, and he plays the ball forward to Sanderson now down the right. Gallagher had to come all the way across to try and stop the cross. Sanderson does well to go past Gallagher, who then recovers, but there is a cross towards that back post. Love it! Did well in the end to just get a hand to that and push it away, because it looked for a second that Beautyman was going to head in a second. Boston still struggling to deal with this one. Hill stops the cross from Richards coming in. Still defending to be done now. Ward for Woking. Can they deliver another cross? Boston have some defending to do. In comes the cross, headed away by Connor Teal. Won't reach John Lewis though, and Woking certainly got the momentum at the moment. 35 gone. They lead 1-0, but Boston have won the ball back through. Hill plays it to the right hand side, but it's a poor pass from Dylan Hill. It was too far in front of a bow, and it's all the way back with Will Escalainen.
For the first time all game, Woking attacking down their right hand side, created the goal. We haven't seen much of Drew going forward, but telling contribution with the cross there. Boston just need to settle, but again they're
struggling with these long balls, aren't they?
Down the right.
And Ward has won a corner.
Yeah, Waldock was the man covering. I didn't see where Carson had ended up, but he was trying to cover. Teal and Gallagher were both employed man marking, and yeah, it was Liam Waldock, the attacking midfielder, back there trying to help his defence out. The Pilgrims, having had a dominant in this first half, you now really have got to say just need to get to half time in touching distance, because it's been an ugly few minutes.
So it's Woking's first corner, as Lincoln City have taken the lead against Doncaster. Okoronkwo with the goal. He scored his first during the week, and he scored again. Beautyman, the goal scorer, to take this corner for the Cardinals, and he plays a low one into the near post, gets it back from Sanderson, and he's offside. What a waste.
Yeah, a bit of a daft one there. We'll take it from a Pilgrims point of view. Boston then, again, not keeping a clean sheet on the road. That's 17 games away from home this season and last without a shutout. They're also yet to score in the first half. This is game 23, if you can believe it, of the season in all competitions.
Have they not scored in the first half?
They've scored 8 in the first half. 3 of them are against Sunderland in the National League Cup. So really, really struggled to score first half goals, the Pilgrims. They've made opportunities for themselves today, but the result so far, with about 10 minutes left in this half, has been the same.
Waldock wins a free kick. It's such a blow, that goal, though, isn't it? Because now the whole atmosphere has changed, hasn't it? The crowd have got up.
Yeah. Boston...
It was avoidable as well.
Well, that's twice in this half we've seen Boston have built a momentum. They've had a couple of opportunities. You're thinking, right, now's the time to really put the foot on the throat, and they've given something away at the other end. First time it was Lovett with that bouncing one, and then the ball he didn't come for, and the second time round it's that cross that's just gone straight through the 6-yard box and ended up being slammed in at the far post.
Can they get themselves level though? Carson has a free kick and plays it across to Lavineer. Back to Carson, who's made himself a bit more space and nearer the goal to get the cross in. Comes off the knee of the defender. Maguire's going to try and win a corner from this. He's not managed. It's cleared away by the defender, but he comes back to Carson, hooks it towards Maguire. He's not going to win that one against Drew in the air, and Woking managed to clear. They've got everyone back though, and Lavineer's got ages in the centre circle to decide what to do. Finds Dylan Hill, his ball across to a Bow on the right hand side. He's been quiet the last 10 minutes, Ken Bow, after being a real threat for that first half an hour or so. Hill plays it long towards Linnell John Lewis. It's headed away, but Richards will just knee that ball forward, and Ward has got a bit of time, but it's a heavy touch. Boston maybe could have won that back through Waldock, but it's Drew to clear for Woking, and again it's a long ball. Boston been struggling to deal with these, as Carson did deal with it, and then it's hoofed away by Lavineer. John Lewis is offside.
He's done well to be offside from there, but again, as the ball went forward, you say Boston was struggling. Lavinia was in the left centre half position, but Lovett, he initially came. He took 2 or 3 paces, then went back. You're thinking, crikey, if he'd have come barreling out of goal there, it was going to be 2-0 almost certain. And Boston just need to get a bit of organisation, as you say, on the transition. They've really, really struggled. And Woking, having enjoyed so much down there attacking left for the first half hour or so, the goal came down the right, and since then that's been their new target.
The longer this goes on like this, the more we start talking about the bench for Boston United as Carson concedes a throw-in.
And not want to be uncharitable, but the bench is a goalkeeper, 2 defenders, and Geordie Hawula. There aren't too many options to change things. It would be very brave, even at 1-0 down, until the kind of last 10 or 15 minutes to bring Geordie on for one of the defensive influences as Boston are struggling as the ball changes over. So I think if it stays 1-0, this is what Boston are going to have.
But I think with no game in midweek, I think you're probably going to get 90 out of John Lewis, potentially.
Yeah, I think you've got to strain the reserves.
So as he does really well to win that flick on John Lewis. He was fouled, referee not interested. Ward now hooks that ball forward. It's headed away by Teal. That'll go out for a throw-in right in front of us here for Aaron Drew to take it. Really good play from him and Ward to get Drew away down that right-hand side for the goal. But Boston should have dealt with the cross.
Yeah, just a mistake in that 6-yard box. There was 2 or 3 opportunities it felt where they could have intervened and they didn't, and in the end it went all the way through and then slammed in relatively unmarked at the back post.
Richards back the way to try and win this one. Boston do win it through. Hill plays the ball down the line towards a bow, but it's overhit again from Dylan Hill. A bow wins a throw in, although I was going to say that looked like it had come off a bow and linesman changed his mind. Right decision.
They got to the right decision in the end. That's not the first time today we've seen Dylan Hill do really well to win the ball back from midfield and then play the immediate pass about 10 yards in front of Kennebo and make life really difficult to try and retain it. Quite frustrating there because, as I say, he'd done the hard work in getting the ball back, and that has been where Boston have had to have 5 or 10 minutes of winning the ball in midfield, is where they've created.
And again struggling with the long ball there, Boston, but it's cleared away by Carson, flicked on by Hill. Maguire brings it down in midfield. We see more of Frankie Maguire, and here he goes down the right, but it's an overhit cross towards John Lewis. It's unlucky that from Maguire as the linesman runs into the corner flag and knocks it over.
Yeah, slightly undignified for the official there on the far side, untangling himself from the flag. Maguire getting a bit of acclaim from those Boston fans that haven't had too much to cheer about in the last 10 or 15 minutes, overhitting his cross there. But again, Boston trying to create with overloads down the right hand side. Hill always looking to provide a bow. Lavernier hasn't got so far forward in the last 10 or 15 minutes, which I think tells you...
I think they've stopped him, haven't they? I think that's...
tells you the pressure Boston feel they're under.
He's back with Lovett.
Bobbled awkwardly, didn't it? And
he's done well to get that over the halfway line, but it does go out for a throw in. Is Stanford really struggling in their division. They're training at Leaston by a goal to nil.
Yeah, worrying times for the Daniels. In the National League, Tamworth have equalised at Boreham Wood. Solihull Moors have doubled their lead at home to Scunthorpe. Sutton have done the same against Halifax, and Morecambe remain 1-0 up at York. The only goalless games: Braintree Truro, Carlisle Eastleigh, Rochdale Aldershot and Yeovil Southend.
It's Christian James not only summarising but keeping us up to date with what's going on in the National League. As Carson plays that ball forward, but it's come on. I think it hit the back of Teal, and Kelly has it again for Woking. Plays it into the area now, trying to twist and turn. Boston need to deal with this one, and they do eventually. Josh Kelly there looked like he was trying to make space for a shot. It was dealt with well in the end, and Carson's ball down the line to John Lewis, but it's a heavy touch from the Boston United forward, and Woking, I think as you said, Christian, Boston just need to get to half time. Still 1-0.
I think John Lewis is ready for half time. He's looking increasingly pained when he's having to get involved. Good work from Richards there, because it was the wrong side of his man, right on the edge of the box. It's been a terrible place to give away a free kick. In the end, just got a foot in, and they've done well not to win a free kick there.
Give away, win a free kick, but also not to kick the ball out, because he whacked it at Dylan Hill, who controlled it really well. And a bow, they've tightened up on a bow, I think. But they do win it back, and it now is a bow up against Richards. Plays it into Hill. They've done well to keep the ball here as Maguire plays that to a bow now on the right hand side. Slips, battling away to win the throw in for Boston United, and did well there considering he slipped. Yeah,
really good work. He adjusted his feet, managed to regain his balance, and in the end forced Odesina, who was covering in behind Caleb Richards, to put it out for a throw in. It's just, as you said on a couple of occasions, just a shame Boston don't have any of their long throw options today, because they have got a few threats in there.
Well, Gallagher has won everything in the air when he goes to him. He's great in the air, he's tall.
And here they come.
They're going to attempt a long throw as Gallagher and Teal come forward, and it's going to be Lavernier to take it. I mean, he'll do his best, I'm sure. Here we go. In towards the head of Teal. It's dealt with. John Lewis can't get there. It was a good throw though. They just didn't go as far away, did they? As Carson plays the ball forward towards Teal. Boston try and win this on the edge of the area, but that's a really good play by Sanderson for Woking. He's bringing this ball away now. He's inside the Boston half, down the left-hand side. Boston have got men back here, but he's pulled it back to Beautyman, the goal scorer. His goals separate the two teams here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire, and he plays the ball across to Drew, who supplied his goal. Aaron Drew, and Woking will probably, Akinola, just look to get to half-time themselves now. We've still got 90 seconds of normal time, plus there's been a couple of injuries. Obviously Mills going off, Lovett had a stoppage, so I think we'll get 3 or 4 minutes added on. And Adesina, that's great skill from the centre half, got past Lewis and Hill. Really good play before playing it out to the left-hand side, but Woking, Sanderson goes back to the number 25, Forster Caskey. And Boston have got some defending to do here. Hill has gone across, Richards with the cross, and it comes off Dylan Hill. There's a big shout for handball behind the goal. Hill went to ground, but it's a corner. Second of the game for Woking.
I think that's a very hopeful shout. They can try and create something from this corner instead. Woking second of the game. It's going to be the scorer Beautyman to take it. And yeah, Hill covering well, cutting out the cross. Cutting out a cross is what Boston should have done about 10 minutes ago. That's where the game hinges so far.
Sam Bailey scored again for Bournemouth. For Bournetown. They're 2-0 up at Loughborough Students. And it's a corner for Beautyman. Boston need to see this half out. Just the goal down. And it's flicked on at the near post towards Drew, but it'll go out for a Reese Lovett goal kick.
Yeah, Drew not able to keep the ball in down the right hand side this time. Bit of a wasted corner. Bit too straight and narrow, and never troubling Reese Lovett. Boston can wait to see how many minutes are coming here. If it's only 1, I think they'll probably settle for half time. If there's 2 or 3, maybe create one more attack. But the wind's been out of their sails a little bit since the game's opening goal.
Goals change games, don't they? And it certainly has. And it's given them the boost, Woking, as we wait for the ball to face us. 5 minutes. Yeah, not surprised by that.
Yeah, a couple of lengthy stoppages.
5 minutes added on here as Boston look to try and get themselves level. Before, Mills was a good couple of minutes, wasn't it, really, as they win a throw-in over on the far side.
Yeah, and Lovett wasn't slow, was he? Was slow, sorry. So another 100-minute game, realistically. We tend to see 5 second half whenever happens, don't we? So
Boston have wasted this throw-in. And can they get the ball back? It's with the defence of Woking. We're into that 5 minutes now. Remember, Boston trailing by a goal to nil. About throws his man to the floor. It's a free kick to Woking on the halfway line.
Yeah, it wasn't very discreet that from Kennebo, was it? And it gives the chance for Woking to load up as many as they want. But the long ball in behind is what's tended to work so far. And
it's working again here as Sanderson has it on the left-hand side up against Gallagher and Lavinier, who got back well and have won a free kick somehow. I don't know why. But why are Boston struggling still with the long ball?
It just seems to be on that transition. I don't think it's a lack of pace, especially, to be honest, now Mills has gone off. There should be plenty of legs in that back line. There just seems to be a bit of disorganisation. There seems to be big gaps for...
Are we being harsh? Is it clever forward play? Are we being maybe a little bit harsh?
I think they've got Ward, Kelly and Sanderson have all found space in behind, but it has been... a real theme of this first half. Boston have struggled on the transition. Woking, every time Boston had a set piece, have committed everybody back, and then in springing forward, Boston found it really struggled to get themselves organised.
They're coming forward again here. Akinola's done so well. He's on the edge of the penalty area, plays it out to Ward on the right hand side, back to Drew. Boston have got men back. They've just slowed down. That was a great run from Timmy Akinola, and now he's got the ball again against Richards, being forced backwards, but he's turned and gone past Jordan Richards. Akinola he's still got it. Pulls it back to Forster Caskey, and they're just happy to keep the ball at the moment, but Forster Caskey has it again now on the right hand side. Boston trailing by a goal to nil here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. That's a great tackle from Carson, proper no nonsense one, but it's back with Woking and their 2 centre halves who for half an hour were really struggling, but the last 15 minutes or so have had a lot easier, and I'm sure that Graham Coughlin will get into his players at half time and just get them playing back how they played for that first half an hour. Ball forward. We'll hear from Graham at the end of this game, as well as one of the players, as Boston got some defending to do here. Beautyman has it on the left hand side. Pulls it back to Akinola. Thought about the shot, then played it forward. Hill did really well to intercept that one for Boston United, as we have still got 2 minutes left, sorry, of stoppage time, and Boston have a goal kick.
Yeah, good work in the end, but as much as Carson did well eventually to block that chance when it fell to Ward, he was pretty much man marking him, the right winger that had drifted inside, and again it forced Wardock back. So you've got two sitting midfielders for Boston, you've got a back four, and then you've got Wardock being dragged back because Carson's trying to deal with Ward in field. You've almost got a line of seven, and there's not a great deal Boston can do if they do win the ball back, and actually Woking is still finding a lot of space in amongst those seven. So troubling for Boston. They're trying to take a note out of Woking's book really and commit plenty of men back and defend in numbers, but it's not just working out the same for them at the other end of the pitch.
No, nothing's come from that goal kick. Lavernier has kicked the ball out of play. There's a throw in the left back position as we're about 90 seconds away from half time, and it's a half where there's plenty of positives for Boston United to take, but ultimately they're trailing by a goal to nil. There's a ball forward, and that's going to go out for a Boston throw in their right back position in front of around about 150 Boston fans. There's a lot there, isn't there? And so we know it's not the nicest of journeys getting here.
No, it'd have been an early start, particularly for the sociable bus.
Yep.
So yeah, really good effort. Not the easiest one to get to, and could do with something to cheer before half time would be very, very welcome.
Certainly would. And Boston have the ball. We're into that last minute of stoppage time now, but they have it at the back with Carson. Lays it across to Teal. Now Gallagher for Boston United, bringing the ball forward, looking for his options, and he's played a long one forward towards a Bow. Lets it bounce before winning the ball. Then he's dispossessed. Kenna Bow, and it's cleared away. Gallagher, cushioned header to Lavernier. Does a nice turn there. Lavernier will get the ball back from Hill. Can Boston United find something before half time? It'd be a great time to score as Lavernier now on the edge of the area plays it in. Oh, and in the end it was a defender seemed to slip, and nobody really attacked it for Boston United. And that will probably be that. And there goes the whistle. And the story of the half really for Boston United. It's the missed chances. Gallagher and Maguire both had headers well saved. Tail had one cleared just in front of the goalkeeper. They lost Zach Mills through injury, and then Buteman with the goal just after the half an hour. And Christian, Boston just need to get themselves going again.
Yes, they've faced a good goalkeeper too. Fantastic saves from headers low to his left from Will Yaskalainen, and kept his side in it. And then frustrating lack of clearance as the ball went all the way through the 6-yard box. It was ultimately slammed home by Buteman, who United have kept quiet for 44 and a half minutes of that half, but that's the way it goes. Another goalless first half effort from the Pilgrims, another away day without a clean sheet, and they've got to come from behind here at Woking.
Right, well hopefully we're going to see a great Boston United comeback. We'll be back for the second half, but at the moment it's Woking 1, Boston United 0. Welcome back to the second half here at Woking, where Boston United trail by a goal to nil. Buteman with that goal on the half an hour. No changes for Boston at the half time. I don't think there was any for Woking either. So just to remind you, Boston United losing Zach Mills in that first half through injury, so they've already made one of the changes. They've only got 5 subs to start with, and also before the game 2 new signings announced. Killian Barrett, goalkeeper, who's on the bench. Oshin Gallagher has come back. The Boston team at the moment then is Rhys Lovett in goal. The back four is Marcel Lavernier, Connor Till, Oshin Gallagher and Matty Carson. So the two holding midfielders are Dylan Hill and Jordan Richards, with Frankie Maguire, Liam Waldock and Kenna Bow supporting Linnell John Lewis up front. Just the 4 subs left that Boston could use then. Killian Barrett, Ben Griss, Geordie Hawula and Finlay Geering. It was announced before the game that Kieran Donnelly and Alex Lancashire have joined the injury list for Boston United. Michael Kelly is also missing today due to a family bereavement, and Tommy Fogarty is on international duty. So Christian James is alongside myself to tell a story for this second half, and Christian, Boston just need to reproduce what they did in that first half an hour, don't they?
Yeah, first half an hour was key. The Pilgrims, when the game was very end to end, had the better of it, but there's always that Achilles heel of in behind today. It's largely come down the attacking left for Woking, and yet the goal came from Drew, the right back, getting in behind Wardock and Carson down what was the near side to us. The Pilgrims, I think they've got Geordie Huula, but at the minute it's going to have to be pretty much what's on the pitch. I think the longer Leonard John Lewis stays out there, the better chance the Pilgrims have. They've got willing runners, particularly Kennebo down the right wing has looked quite bright. Frankie Maguire, the touch of quality. So United have got options. They've got options on the pitch to try and do something about this game, but 1-0 behind, and they're going to need to show a little bit more defensively, and with Reece Lovett included in that first half performance, if they're not going to concede another in the second half.
So 2 reasons that it's 8 minutes past 4 and we're still just about to start the second half. First of all, we had the 3 minutes past 3 kick-off due to the 3 up, 3 down campaign, and then there was 5 minutes added on for stoppages in the first half. Zach Mills and Reece Lovett, the 2 big injury stoppages. Reece Lovett is okay, he's carried on. Mills had to go off to be replaced by Walcott, and a change of positions for players like Hill, like Gallagher, and Teal as well, who has moved across to the other side of the back too. Referee just doing his final counts. There goes the whistle, and it's Woking that will get us underway here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. And just like Boston did in the first half, they kick the ball straight out of play.
Yeah, it's coming back into fashion, that, isn't it? The hoof it down and try and defend a throw in on a full back, and it speaks to the direct nature of the game. Both teams have not looked to pass it backwards and sideways too often, try and get in behind and land on second balls, and that's what Woking are doing here. Boston
United got some defending to do here early as Teal clears away for a throw-in down by the corner flag, as Woking have looked to threat down both flanks really. It was down their right that led to the goal. They have a throw which was taken quite a way back from where the ball actually went out, but it doesn't really matter as Drew has it for them. It's a ball inside. Richards trying to win this back for Boston United, and they do win it back in the end, and now they're going to look to try and come forward with Maguire on the left hand side. That's a really good tackle though from Akinola, who's had a really good first half, Timmy Akinola, and it's actually gone out for a throw into Woking.
Yeah, good challenge there. It needed to be. I think if he'd have got the man before the ball, it was a definite yellow card, and the referee gave just the 2 in the first half, but plenty of fouls on that occasion. Clean challenge and good work again, as you say, from Akinola.
Yes, just the 2 yellows. It was Odesina, the centre half for Woking, for a foul on John Lewis. Dylan Hill, it was a yellow card for dissent, asking for a penalty for what they considered a foul on Marcel Lavernier. It's now all the way back with Will Jaskalainen, who had a very good first half for Woking. Short-sleeved, bright green. Is going to go long. That's a really good kick to Richards on the left-hand side for Woking. Looking to try and make space to get the cross in. Boston have got plenty of men back here. He's back now with Beautyman. He's the man whose goals separate the 2 teams, as Abo tries to win the ball back here, and he does win Boston United a throw-in, which will be taken by Lavernier. Goes down the line towards John Lewis. That looked like a foul by John Lewis, yep. And the referee agrees. Odesina, the man fouled.
Boston regained the lead on the foul count, 7-8 already. I wouldn't say it was particularly tempestuous first half, more scrappy. And Leonard John Lewis, not for the first time today, involved in a foul. He's drawn 2 or 3 from each of the centre halves he's up against and committed 2 or 3 himself, and he nudges Boston in front for now on that one. Shots on target, 4-1 to the Pilgrims in the first half, the one of course being imperative for the hosts. United had another 2 opportunities blocked, and as we mentioned throughout the first half, 2 fantastic Jaskalainen saves, keeping it 0-0 in the first 20 minutes, both headers low to his left.
Well, it's 48 minutes gone. You finally used 2 big words that you'd never hear me saying, both in the same speech.
There you go. I like to get the thesaurus out every once in a while.
Yeah, I haven't got one. Boston United trailing by a goal to 0 here. We're 3 minutes into the second half on BBC Radio Lincolnshire, and it's with Woking in defence, but Boston have won it back through Maguire on the left-hand side now. They've got men forward here, Boston United. Maguire tries to find John Lewis, but he was crowded out in the end there, and it's cleared away. Hill stops the clearance from making any distance, and it'll actually be kept in by Maguire on that left-hand side. Takes a touch before coming inside. It's a low ball in from Maguire. John Lewis, can he get there first? No, he's just dealt with by the defender. Just for a second there, I thought John Lewis was going to get there as the Boston fans make a roar on the far side. It's a throw into the Pilgrims, and Matty Carson, who takes it quickly into Maguire, who, that's unlucky. Kind of let it go, but John Lewis hadn't read it. Better.
Absolutely, Maguire twice and winning the ball high up the pitch. First time didn't quite have the quality on delivery to create an opportunity, but recycled, one back well from Hill, fell fortuitously for Maguire, and he did produce with the second delivery, not quite able to land at John Lewis's feet. And That's been the difference between the two sides at the minute, because the one time Woking put a ball low into the Boston box, it stayed there for an eternity.
Well, they're coming forward again now with Drew. He was the one that delivered the cross for the goal that Boston just didn't deal with. Pulls it back to Ward, who does well there, twisting and turning. Wants a free kick, he's going to get one. It's a foul by Carson, who pleads he's innocent. And Boston have got some defending to do here.
I think Ward had got, he was fouled initially, but then he got past him. The referee played advantage, and he sort of ended up off balance and fell over. So I suppose the sum of its parts, a free kick much further wide. So the referee now acknowledging the fact it was the initial foul. Fair enough. Good position, 25 yards up the right touch line to try and deliver, and I think Ward's okay. I think he's just struggling to sort his boot out more than anything else. He's stayed down, he's thrown an arm in the air, but we're not going to have any treatment. Bit of time disappearing from the game early in the second half.
Already 5 minutes into the second half. Boston trailing by a goal to nil. Ward is still turning his shield. The referee's actually blown his whistle.
I think we're marching towards a game that's going to go beyond 5 o'clock here. 3 minutes lost to the late kick-off, 5 in the first half. We've had a good minute here.
How long does it take to tie your boots?
And he's still throwing his arms in the air.
He's not happy about something, is he?
No.
He got the free kick.
It
wasn't a yellow. Anyway, and now he's the one offering the short one for Beauty, but it's a cross in towards where, look, it's got to be strong. He's flapped today. Boston just deal with it. He really needed to command his area there, Reese Lovett. He got like a half fist to it. Not a proper punch.
It landed on it. It literally landed on Reese Lovett. It sort of bounced off, as you say, a bit of fist in the front of his shoulder, and very, very lucky there, because he got himself in the right position and then just didn't try and get a hold of the thing, and could have fallen absolutely anywhere. As it is, it fell for the Pilgrims, and then Gallagher able to win the free kick as the return ball came in.
Martian Gallagher then did really well to win a free kick for Boston United and just take away a little bit of momentum for the home side. Gallagher's just looked really good, like he's not been away. Really good today as Carson plays that ball forward. John Lewis will try and get on the end of that one, but it's over hitting through to Jääskeläinen, who the last corner of the free kicks for them, he was asking his defenders to come shorter so he can throw it, and that's what he's just done. And the centre half kicks it straight out of play.
Yeah, maybe won't be trusting the centre half to play it out again if that's the result. But I suppose if they're going to try and control the game, and goalkeepers now not able to keep hold of the ball for too long, of course, I suppose playing it out to the defenders and just delaying that ball forward is probably quite a good way for Woking to try and do it.
And it's now a throw in to Woking in their left back position. Lincoln United have taken the lead against Blyth. Connor Brown with the goal. The only other game we've not mentioned today, 0-0 between Halesowen and Spalding. Stanford still trailing at Leiston. Bourne winning 2-0 at Loughborough. No game for Gainsborough Trinity today. Lincoln City leading Doncaster by a goal to nil. As Boston United are coming forward now, can a bow get on the end of this one? It's very calm again from the defender back to his goalkeeper Jääskeläinen. Hill won't win that in midfield, and Kelly looks to flick it on. Woking definitely want that second goal. Akinola has it in midfield for them, across to the right back position now, and Drew. It's won back well there by Carson, but it's back with Woking, and Boston just can't get hold of the ball properly at the moment, can they?
No, they're being worked hard across that forward line. It's Maguire having to do a lot of the pressing, with John Lewis a little more selective with when he uses his energy reserves. I think he is going to have to play as long as possible if Boston have got a chance of getting back in this game.
It's Woking that are coming forward now, and Kelly plays it out to Sanderson. Lavineer does well to get back and concede a throw-in.
Yeah, don't mind that. A firm challenge, but a fair one from Lavineer. We just saw Carson do the same to Ward on the far side. I don't mind that. Again, a little bit of throwback football from the Pilgrims, but that's the way the game's been played. It's been robust at times and direct, and it's made a good contest, a good watch.
It's Woking that are coming forward now, and it's Richards for them. Plays it in, and it's gathered in by Lovett.
Yeah, I think the early couple of jitters with Lovett coming out for crosses would encourage the hosts, and you can see they are trying to cross when they get the opportunity.
Boston have picked the ball up in midfield though through Richards to Waldock, back to Jordan Richards. He's had his usual busy game, Richards, and he goes back to Connor Teal. Gallagher wanted the short one. Teal ignores him and goes up to the left hand side, and Carson, but he goes back to Teal, who's going to look to go long towards a bow. That's a brilliant ball. A bow. It came off his chest, and he's just crowded out there. It's a brilliant ball from Connor Teal, and the first touch from a bow was excellent. The defenders did well. Teal then wins that header, and it's then flicked forward for Boston United. Can they get something? John Lewis battling away and lays that ball off to Waldock, busting away to get through to the penalty area. It comes off the defender and trickles it way back to Jaskalainen, and Boston looking a bit of a threat though coming forward. Gallagher heads the ball forward to Richards in midfield. It looks to, it's a poor ball for Richards. John Lewis will try and win it back for the Pilgrims. In the end, Lavinier and Hill between them doing it, with Dylan Hill on the right hand side. Lavinier, defender all over him, so Hill goes inside to Jordan Richards. Can the Pilgrims get themselves back in this game? They're trailing by 1-0. Hill and Richards playing it between themselves at the moment. Richards looking for options. One of them's Carson, but he goes to Maguire. He's had to drop deep to pick this ball up. Frankie Maguire plays it back to Jordan Richards, who plays the ball inside the opposition half now. Carson wins a throw in.
Fantastic ball from Connor Teal that started
Brilliant,
it all
wasn't it?
off. Yeah, for Pilgrims fans of a few years, think Pierre Gianni picking out Rollins and Felix, one of those quarterback passes from left centre half, and a Bowen lucky not to touch it through.
And Matty Carson there has done so well. It was a good bit of skill to get past his man, and he's won a free kick on the left hand side. It's a yellow card for the, who was that?
I think it was Ward. One back for Matty Carson. And
was it Ward or was it this guy, this defender? I didn't see Akinola. Which one is it?
May well have been. There was a couple of bodies in there, weren't there? But the foul count levelled up again, 9 apiece. Boston got another opportunity to deliver from the left-hand side. That's where those free kicks came in the first half, wasn't it? There was the one which resulted in the very early Gallagher header that was well saved. Carson's outswinger through that channel, sort of between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot. And again, with the Pilgrims lining up on the edge of the working box, I think we're going to see a very similar plan.
Well, you'd think Gallagher at the back post is probably the target here for Carson or Maguire. Boston trailing by 1-0 at the moment here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. It will be an in-swinger from Maguire. John Lewis goes up with the goalkeeper, who did really well to punch that one away. John Lewis is still down. He slowly gets up to his feet as Hill plays it back into the pantry. Goalkeeper punches again. Comes out to Wardock on the edge of the area. Drills it towards goal. It's looping and tipped over by Jaskalainen.
Yeah, good work the Pilgrims there.
Good goalkeeping there.
Absolutely, very awkward for Jaskalainen from John Lewis. The initial challenge, John Lewis jumped ever so well. Jaskalainen got a fist to it, but then John Lewis was laying prone in the box, and Jaskalainen had to look where his feet were going, not to trip over him, clear the second, and then the third, just diligently watching that Wardock effort from the edge of the box, driven and then looped into the air via a deflection. And yeah, 3 good pieces of goalkeeping there. Very assured, very commanding in his box.
Take the corner short. Lavinier's got a bit of space here. Running towards the area. He's now into the area. Marcel Lavinier drills it across. It's dealt with by the defender. Can Boston get a shot away? Hill does. It's blocked again by the defender. Lavinier. Sorry, it's a Bow now on the right hand side. Back to Hill. It's a good cross into the air towards Gallagher. Headed down. Can Boston get on the end of it? No, they can't. And it goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, good work for the Pilgrims down the right again. They took the corner quick. They worked the space. The defender, on one occasion, the ball was cleared out, and then the defender laying on the ground decided to nod it back in. I think he should have just left it because it went straight to Hill's path. His shot was crowded out, and then the follow-up from Gallagher harmlessly wide on this occasion, just too fine a touch on it. But again, Boston winning the ball, regaining the ball high up the pitch. Often that initial delivery hasn't quite been there, but they've quickly regained possession, had another go, and it's just not quite fallen for the Pilgrims. And they've come up against a good goalkeeping performance, as you'd expect from Will Jaskalainen.
He's been excellent. He's been absolutely fantastic. As Gallagher plays that ball across towards Carson, who's seen a lot more of the ball in this second half. Matty Carson plays it down the line. That goes out for a throw in. Boston, every time they have a set piece, Christian, also, they're looking a threat, aren't they, every time?
Yeah, they should be really encouraged, the Pilgrims fans, as they see this throw and taken in front of them. They've seen their side create in a multitude of different fashions, really. We've seen a couple of Hollywood passes from Teal and Gallagher out wide. We've seen both wing-backs get in behind. We've seen Maguire, Waldock and Abo more recently look bright, and they've landed on second balls off John Lewis. So multiple avenues of attack for Boston to try and find an equaliser, but we're another sort of 15 minutes into this game after half-time, and it is still 1-0 to the hosts.
That's the stat that counts, as it's them that are coming forward now. There's the ball out towards Richard on the left-hand side. He's inside the penalty area here. It's really good defending by Bow. Brilliant play, because it looked there that Caleb Richards was in, and Bow managed to get goal side. Great defending now. It's Boston are coming forward with Hill. Felt his shirt was pulled there. Yes, referee saw it as well. Free kick to Boston. Great defending first of all by Abo.
Yeah, fantastic. Abo covering there, the attacking right. Again on the transition, Boston completely unorganised.
Boston have taken a quick free kick. Lavinier now has it on the right hand side. He's just inside the penalty, plays it in. Maguire doubles it, shot towards goal, block. Can Boston score? Yes, they can. It's a really good finish from Waldock to make it 1-1. His first goal for the club. nothing short of what Boston have deserved. It was a quick free kick. Lavernier played it in. The first shot from Waldock was blocked. It came back to him. It's a fantastic finish into the top corner. Woking 1, Boston 1.
Boston down the attacking right again. Bright work, as you said, the quick free kick. The ball came in hard, low, at the penalty spot. Maguire must have got a shout from Waldock. A fantastic dummy to leave it for him to wrap it with his right foot. The initial shot blocked. Again, Boston regaining the second ball. Waldock, the man himself. Effort number 2, picked his spot. Jääskeläinen had committed to the first, left a space at the near post for the second. The Pilgrims have created plenty of openings. Their 6th shot on target. 1 finally beats Jääskeläinen. We're an hour into this game, and I think it's fair to say, deservedly, the Pilgrims are level.
Well, there we go. They've started this second half. First 5 minutes, Woking were on top, but then since then, Boston have grown into it and been by far the better side. And we're not seeing a lot of Graham Coughlan side. I just think it's the angle where we're sat, but he's certainly on the pitch at the moment. Same thing about throw-ins at the moment. The only other time we've seen him was when they thought they should have had a penalty. But that's not saying he's not stood up. It's just where we're angled. As Woking are going to make, was it 1 or 2 changes here?
Might be 2.
I think both teams will feel this is there for the win.
I would agree. I think
it is for both.
The game is. I think you wouldn't necessarily trust both of these defences to keep each other out for another half an hour. That's the other thing. We're going to see Jamie Andrews for Harry Buteman, who
Harry Buteman going off.
Barring the goal, has been quiet.
I agree, and it was the old commentator's curse for that, wasn't it, from me?
I'm afraid so.
But he has been quiet, which surprises me, and again, credit to Boston, really, for keeping him quiet, as Jamie Rayner in conversation with Lavernier there. Also, just going back to the goal, it was clever, the quick free kick. Sometimes we say about free kicks, oh no, wait, but it was clever, wasn't it?
Yeah, a bit of creativity, a little bit of invention from the Pilgrims, and then the quality from Maguire to do nothing. Sometimes the best thing you can do is nothing, and that dummy was
beautiful.
Beautiful.
A couple of times, doesn't he, today?
Yeah.
As Josh Assoud has come on for Matt Ward, who's really been a frustrated figure, hasn't he, in the last 5 minutes or so. Asouda is on for the home side, so it's Asouda and it's Andrews that are on. It's Buteman and Ward that are off.
Yeah, the home fans like that, don't they? Bit of a...
So 2 changes from Neil Ardley's side. 1-1 here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Boston United getting themselves deservedly back in the game, and they've won themselves a free kick. And Cartill's saying it's a high foot. Carson.
I think it might well be Carson again. And
Sanderson
takes the booking.
Sanderson, thank you. So that was 59th minute, 1-1 from Waldock, who was his second effort of the game, and I think he's one that you want to be shooting more. It was a great finish. When you say about the keeper, it had to be a great finish to beat him because he's been outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can Boston go and win this game? We've got just under half an hour still to play here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire before the league leaders of Carlisle visit the Jatemans next Saturday evening. 5:30 kickoff, remember that one. As Reece Lovett goes long, it's flicked on by Carson. John Lewis trying to get on the end of it. And Boston United coming forward again now. Maguire busting towards the area. He's into the penalty area. Maguire still going, goes down. He wants a penalty. I think he was crowded out there, but they really struggled to deal with Frankie Maguire there. It took 3 of them in the end to get the ball off him.
Yeah, and that left space for Waldock. The ball did fall to him, but unable to control it. Bit of venom on it, and yeah, no complaints for me on the penalty shout there.
No, I think it was a half-hearted appeal from Maguire.
He got up a dead end, hadn't he?
And goes short. Woking, as it's they that are looking to come forward now. Gallagher's so well. Oh, ref's giving it as a foul. Not sure about that one.
I thought it was a good interception from Gallagher.
I thought it was a good interception.
Get there first, but there we are. 10 fouls apiece now. Sanderson, the 3rd man in the book for Woking, just Hill for the Pilgrims. Liam Waldock, Boston's 13th goal scorer of the season in all competitions. It's come in his 8th game and his 2nd off the bench.
Now it's the home side coming forward, but Lavernier, who played a real part in that goal, goes back to his goalkeeper Lovett, who I will say his kicking has improved a lot since the first half. Because he's been under pressure a couple of times, like there.
That was an awkward one, sort of.
Yeah, he's done well.
Just hovering, wasn't it? It wasn't on the floor or on the full.
That's a foul. Oh no, not given, and Woking feel hard done to there. Looked like a foul over on the far side. John Lewis looking to press the defender. Remember, Boston United only 4 subs left on the bench. Killian Barrett, goalkeeper. Ben Griss, Geordie Hawula, and youngster Finley Ging. 4 players Well, no, there's more than 4 missing, but 2 more injuries announced before the game. That's a foul on Sanderson, is it? No, it goes out for a throw-in. And Woking, when at the end of the first half, start at the beginning, we're getting these little decisions, these 50-50s. They're not now, and a frustration starting to show, and Boston have to take advantage, don't they?
They do. The nature of the two sides, the way that they've approached this game, has been accepting there's going to be sort of flows and changes of tempo to the game, and at the minute it is all with Boston. The decisions are just going their way. A rare error from Jääskeläinen there, kicking out,
yeah, but look where it went.
Forced at the Woking man's feet.
Straight to Jake Forster. Kaski, 1-1 here, 65 minutes played. It's been a really entertaining National League encounter between two sides. Only a point separates them in the table. Boston win, they'll go above Woking. And it's the defender now running forward, Odyssey. It's a great run. He's now on the edge of the penalty area. Plays it to the left-hand side. But Boston and the Bow, whose defensive work's been excellent this second half, gets back, concedes a corner.
Yeah, very impressive again from a Bow, as you say, facing his own goal, helping Lavinia out, who has been encouraged in the second half, which I think is a real positive. To try and have more of an attacking influence on this game. He retreated after a bright first 20 minutes. The flip side of that coin is the Bow's got to do more work defensively, and he's proving more than capable.
It's a corner to the home side. It will be Forster Kaski to take it, and it's headed away by Boston United and a Bow. But it's back with the home side. Boston have still got everybody back at the moment. They need to try and bring some out if they can, but also defend this. And it's Forster Kaski again on the left-hand side. It's a deep one towards the back post. That's overhit. Goes out for a goal kick. 1-1 here. It's also 1-1 in our commentary game on the radio. Lincoln City 1, Doncaster 1. And we've not asked Christian for a while, actually, the latest in the National League.
Yeah, the trend of home teams doing fairly well has continued. Altrincham scored early in the second half to go 2-0 up at home to Brackley. Carlisle have taken the lead at home to Eastleigh. That game's only 52 minutes old, so there's been another delay there somewhere along the line. Rochdale have taken the lead. They're 1-0 up at home to Aldershot. It remains 2-0 to Solihull Moors against Scunthorpe. York City, they equalised against Morecambe, then went behind again and have now just equalised. So 2-2, York City twice equalising. Ollie Banks this time. Always a man you can rely on for a goal. Ollie Pearce, the man that set him up on that occasion. So yeah, at the minute we're looking at no away wins again in the National League. Couple of draws still, 2 games goalless, Yeovil and Braintree hosting those. Well,
hopefully we'll get an away win here as a Bow again does some great defensive work, then goes back to his goalkeeper, love it. John Lewis battling away to win the ball. He doesn't, but it's picked up by Maguire. It's a lovely layoff to Lavinia, who's overtaken a Bow on the right hand side. Still going a Bow, trying to get on the end of this one, but it's dealt with in the end by Woking. It's very hard because we can't see the ball. We're just getting by player movement. It's cleared away. And then Gallagher just hoists that one long. Richards doesn't win the header. And it'll now be brought down by Connor Teal, who's got a bit of time for Boston United. Gives it to Carson, who goes back to Reese Lovett. 67 gone, 1-1 here between Woking and Boston United. Just Lovett stumbles, but gets a really good kick on. John Lewis flicks it on, and no one's there for Boston United, and it goes through to Jääskeläinen, who goes short. He asked a few minutes ago he wanted to go short, and the defenders have offered every time. As Woking coming for Boston with some defending to do here, and it's a really good run here. Across goes Carson for Boston United, but there's a cross, it's a corner. Really bright play. I can't actually see who it is.
It's Sood, the substitute.
Sood, the sub. Thank you very much. Great play, great skill, wins a corner. It's the 4th of the game for Woking. Can they get themselves back in front? 1-1.
Got past Carson, evaded the foul of Warlock. I think it probably was a foul. The referee left it be, and in the end a deflected cross means a 4th corner of the game for Woking. Again, it's come down the attacking right, where they've looked really promising ever since the goal came down that side, and they've switched their impetus.
Here comes the corner. Lovett comes out and punches it with 2 hands, but he is outside the area. There's a big punch from the Boston United keeper. No real pressure, but no danger, and that's good. Andrews now for the home side. Looks to cross it, doesn't quite reach the area. Sood trying to get on the end of this one. Sood, he's a real danger. Drills the low ball in. Boston do clear it really well through Liam Wooldock. He did well there because he fell over. Managed to take the ball and play it out for a throw-in.
Wooldock and Abo have both been required at times to contribute defensively, and they've been, credit to them, equal to it. I think we might be seeing a longer throw here from the host. Jamie Andrews has come on, and he's come all the way out from the box to take this one about 30 yards up the touchline on the right hand side.
First real long throw we've had of the day, and that's exactly what it is. Towards that 6-yard box, it's Waldock that got his head to the ball. Boston looking to try and deal with this as Sanderson turns and shoots, takes a deflection, goes out for a corner.
Yeah, landed on it well, Sanderson there. Hill not just able to clear on the edge of the box, and Boston have looked slightly suspect at times with balls into their area, so Andrews coming on, offering it from the throw-in as well, a cause for concern for the Pilgrims. They've got half of the second half left to go. They've had a spell, they've equalised, now they've just got to see out Woking's period of ascendancy.
Just over 20 minutes to go. Here comes the corner. That's a great header away. Brave header from Linnell John Lewis. And he ended up being kicked in the head, but it was a brave header. You know, it's one of the minutes you put your head in, you know you're going to get the free kick. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, Woking fans behind that goal not very happy. I don't think there's space in the game for kicking blokes in the head. I think that's probably what we should all be able to agree on. But there we are. We are going to see a change to the Pilgrims. Jordy Hawula coming on, and at 1-1 you'd assume it's going to have to be John Lewis. He's put a good shift in for the Pilgrims. He's landed on plenty. John Lewis looking over, slightly puzzled at the bench, and
yeah, we thought it might be a bit later. We knew this change was coming at some point, but Jordy Hawula, John Lewis now gives the captain's armband to Connor Teal, third player to wear it today. So 70 minutes from John Lewis, who does, I mean, to be fair, does look tired. Hawula, he's fresh, he's fast. It's a different challenge, isn't it, for the defenders?
It is. I think Boston are going to have to think a little bit differently about how they're clearing their lines. If they are just going to boom it forward, you would probably back the two centre halves for Woking to get the better of Maguire and Hawula. I'd like to see a bit more of the channel balls, something that Woking used really well in the first half between full-back and centre half. Hawula also one that could contribute to the press, trying to win balls high up the pitch, which he did so well at Tamworth and which Boston have done well in spells today.
Gallagher now for Boston United, plays a good ball out to the right hand side for a bow, back to Dylan Hill. It's a bobbling ball, but Hill does really well to win a throw in there for Boston United as the ball lands on top of the stand that we're in. It'll be Lavernier to take this throw in as Spalding have taken a lead at Hales Owen. Liam Moore with the goal for them. Stamford still trailing 1-0. Bourne still 2 up. Lincoln United still leading 1-0. All local scores. Lincoln City are still they're leading 2-1 now, so against Doncaster.
And Tamworth are winning at Boreham Wood, so one for the away sides today.
Lavernier with the throw in, headed away, and then Lavernier gets a second chance to head that ball towards the penalty area. Gallagher then hooks it forward, as does Dylan Hill. It's dealt with again as Jordy Hawula is still waiting for his first touch. Bouncing ball for Teal to deal with, and he does well to just head that ball forward. Now Lavernier's got to be strong in the air, but it's actually hit the Tamworth, because you said Tamworth, the Woking man, played forward by Gallagher, headed away for a Boston United throw-in just inside the Woking half. 72 gone, still 1-1.
Yeah, it'd be a fantastic result for Tamworth. That we mentioned them a couple of times away at Boreham Wood, a team that don't lose too often. York, as we might have expected, but as they've struggled so far, have now taken the lead at home to Morecambe.
Lavernier with the throw-in down the line towards Hawula, got nowhere near it. Hill heads the ball forward to Maguire, tries to lay that one off to Waldock, just over here, and then Carson clatters into the substitute Asude, and that's surely going to be a yellow card for Matty Carson.
Yeah, no complaints. Fifth booking of the game all told. Foul number 11 for the Pilgrims, matching the hosts again, and Carson caught out of position, didn't get to Maguire's slightly under-hit layoff out to the left-hand side. He was one-on-one. If he wasn't going to get the ball, he had to get the man. That's what he did at the expense of some attention from the referee.
Fifth booking, I've only got 4 written down. Who's
I've
been
got
booked?
3 down for Woking. Good question.
Because we weren't sure about Ward.
The centre half and Sanderson.
I hadn't got his written down, thank you. Nothing comes from that free kick for Woking. Boston have a throw in their left back area, which will be taken by Matty Carson, as the Pilgrims, who've lost the last 2 games in what's a big, particularly the away games, some really big games. Woking, Yeovil, Morecambe, all teams in that bottom half. Jeskalainen goes long, Teal wins the header, and then it's pumped forward, and Ado's going to try and get on the end of this one, trying to cause problem for the defender, and it eventually goes through to the goalkeeper, Jeskalainen. Boston looking to try and win here for the first time since 2001, when they have only visited once since then, but it always sounds good when you say stuff like that.
Well, they missed 2 penalties that day as well. They had the luxury of having one saved and blazing one over. It was first half goals then. Can it be second half goals this time around for United?
They've already got one this half. Liam Wardock equalising for the Pilgrims. And that's a handball by Richards. I think he's a little bit lucky there, Richards. He felt a nudge, and on his way down he stopped the ball with his hand going through, but the referee sees it as a foul on Richards.
He wasn't going to give it until Richards picked the ball up,
I
was he?
think it would have been a yellow card for Richards if it had gone the other way.
I wouldn't have complained.
No.
So the referee didn't give the decision. Richards scooped the ball up, and suddenly, yes, it was a foul for the Pilgrims man.
Carson with the kick towards a bow. It ends up there for the head of Hill. A bow looking to try and make space, wins a throw in on the right hand side of the penalty area, which Lavinier comes across the tape, but Hill takes it quickly back to Oshin Gallagher. Across to Teal now, wearing the captain's armband today. Mills going off injured as Carson goes long towards the bow again. It's headed away, but Hill's picking up that second ball nearly every time at the moment. Plays the ball forward towards the bow. It's intercepted, and now it'll come back to Gallagher, and again goes across to his centre half partner and Connor Teal. Goes across to Carson. Ball out to the left hand side now for Boston United, who at the moment are 1-1 with 15 minutes to go here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire, plus whatever stoppages the referee chooses to add, as Richards plays the ball across to Gallagher. His ball forward now. It's a good run by Lavinier. The ball just hit him, but he manages to keep the ball. He's turning here, Marcel Lavinier, and in the end couldn't get past the defender. It was good defending in the end and woke him. They're going to look to attack themselves. Gallagher stops the attack. Maguire now. Hawula back to Maguire. Tries to find Jordi Hawula. Can he get on the end of this one? The defender just gets there. Boston battling to try and win this on the edge. Now it's with Maguire. Shoots over the bar. It's high and it's wide. And that's a really good opportunity.
Had to hit the target there, Maguire, begging
just
for a
fell
corner.
for him nicely, didn't it?
Yeah, good bit of work from the Pilgrims. Initially, Hawula wasn't quite alive to Maguire's idea, but they recycled it well. As they've done so many times today, it's often been that kind of second phase of the attack where the Pilgrims have really profited. On that occasion, forcing a fantastic area for Maguire, and then, lashed harmlessly over.
Another change for Woking. Ashley Boatswain is coming on for Ollie Sanderson. Boatswain, who played the game at Tamworth last time out, but one of the three changes Neil Ardley made before this game. And in a hurry to get off, is he, Sanderson?
No.
1-1. And Boston United, there's an announcement to make sure you dispose of your rubbish.
Yeah, I've not been asked to produce
Why
one of those.
Why are you not
yet
doing that at
Boston,
Christian? Why?
Well, the good folk of the JCS are very sociable creatures. They know to use the bins provided, but I'm pleased we've been reminded.
And also, another side, we always talk about different things. Another side note is today's the first game, we realised, didn't we, before the game, that they've had no smoking at this ground.
Yes, which I thought was quite something.
Yeah.
It feels like a bygone era, that one. But,
yeah.
They were quick to say we do still have areas available for smoking. So,
they do, yes.
Yeah, everyone was still accommodated, which I thought was very impressive.
And a lovely named Mona's Corner Calf.
Yes.
Where we're surely going to be at full time.
Well, you never know. It depends how these last 15 minutes go, I suppose. But I've not heard too many complaints from Mona's Corner down to our right-hand side today.
Great name. 1-1 here, 77 minutes played on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Boston have it now with Gallagher and the defence, and thought about going for a bow, but goes back to Lovett. And he plays just a bit of a triangle here between Lovett, Teal and Gallagher, and now it's back with the Lincoln City Loney. He goes long, but Hawula had gone the other way, and that'll go through to Jaskalainen. He's got ages to decide what he's going to do, and now he picks the ball up, and once he picks it up he knows he's only got 8 seconds and rolls it away quickly to Chinook. Ockley plays the ball long. Boatswain wins the flick on, but Boston will pick this one up. And who is it? Which team has got that to go and get the winning goal in the last minutes here at Woking? Boston have had chances. I wouldn't say they've had any chances to win it from 1-1, but they've had chances in this game as Lavinier plays the ball down the line to a bow, gets it back to Marcel Lavinier on the right hand side. Now he's dispossessed, it goes out for a throw in, but again this right hand side that's been Boston's threat pretty much all game. Lavinier takes the throw and it goes over Hawula, but Wardock was coming in there behind him, and the defender last minute heads it out for a corner.
Yeah, good work from Ockley there. Intelligent throw from Lavinier. He knew he had 2 chances really. Over 200 Pilgrims, did I hear there?
I was just trying to listen to that. 200 and what Pilgrims? Over 200 Pilgrims. Over 2,000. So to get about over 2,000 every home game. It's been a good atmosphere here today. Over 200 Pilgrims is incredible. We'll get the exact figure for you in a few minutes, but it's a corner to the home side. Carson goes short to a Bow, who pulls it back to Maguire now on the edge of the area, looking to try and make himself a bit of space here. Maguire. Now Carson, Hill. This is good from Boston, but they need to get the ball in the box. And Maguire now's on the right-hand side for the Pilgrims. Pulls it back to Dylan Hill, who crossed it towards the back post where there's no one there. Cleared away, and that is probably going to go out for another throw, and it is. Over on the left-hand side where a Bow has the ball. Boston 1-1, looking to try and find themselves a winner. I think, probably a winner we feel they probably deserve. Hill plays the ball down the line. Boston win a throw in.
They certainly had the better of the second half, haven't they? They had the more opportunities in the first, but the moment of quality or lack of it, unfortunately, for the Pilgrims defending cost them at half time. And second half got the deserved equaliser. Both teams have had a spell since, and this next foray is up for grabs, really. And the Pilgrims making a case for themselves to have another strong 4 or 5 minutes.
There's a foul there on Maguire. No, Lavernier, sorry. And the free kick to Boston, right-hand side, just in front of the home dugout, but another chance to get the ball in the box. And again, Carson and Maguire will come over and offer. So the attendance is 2,820 with 257 Boston fans here today. 257.
Fantastic effort all round.
So, brilliant. Both sets of fans have made lots of noise, and it's going to be an in-swinging free kick from Matty Carson. Can Boston take the lead here? 1-1. They were behind, and it will be Carson because Maguire has gone. Here comes the free kick. It's a high one towards the back post, and it's gathered in pretty easily by Jääskeläinen, as Stamford are now 3-0 down at Leiston.
Yeah, straight out Jääskeläinen. He's going to gobble those up very, very gratefully. The Pilgrims just building again. They need to not let the pressure release.
Woking are coming forward now with a Sude. He comes inside as Boston United and Abo fell over. Switches the play to the other side. Woking will still feel they've got a winner in this game as well. They've drawn the last 4 games here. They won't want to make it 5 draws from 5, but Boston have won the ball back now, and that's a ball down the line towards Hawula. That's a really good ball, and Hawula is fouled by the defender who... Which one is it? It's Ockley, and he gets a yellow card. And you said a few minutes ago, Christian, balls down the channel, that's what you want. They didn't know what to do there. Fortunately for them, it's Ockley that fouled both centre-halves for a yellow card now. Free kick Boston, left-hand side of the penalty area.
Well, they had to cross over. There was only the 2 centre-halves there. Hawula got between the pair of them. The ball perfectly weighted, delivered from this left-hand side. Just sort of faded, and Hawula got in between the two. The pair of them crossed over, and in the end, amongst the tangle, difficult to see from here whether Ockley did get in there first. I think probably the right decision's been made. Booking fair enough. There was a covering defender. And Boston have got another free kick. That must be the 4th or 5th now they've had to deliver from the left-hand side. Again, we're talking about a Carson out-swinging or Maguire in-swinger. I'd prefer to see the left-footer here. I think it would keep it away from the goalkeeper. We're about 30 yards from the byline, sort of towards the edge of the box.
Referee has blown his whistle, and Gallagher again will be the threat at the back post, although the substitute Andrews is probably as tall as him, so it's quite a battle over there. And I think looks like it might be Carson this time. No, it's going to be Maguire. Right footed, and he went for goal. It lands on top of the net. I'm not quite sure he's ever going to score from there, but it was an ambitious effort.
Yeah, had Jääskeläinen scrambling there. I don't think he quite knew where his goal was, but just over the bar, sort of nestled on the top of the net. And for the second time, once from a dead ball and once from the edge of the area, Maguire not able to find the target. He's had the 2 opportunities in these last 10 minutes or so. Boston have got 7 or 8 more plus stoppage time, which I think we'll have a fair bit of to try and find a winner here. They are growing into this game, and it's increasingly feel as though they need to make that count.
Feels like if it's a draw or a defeat even, it'd be a missed opportunity for Boston United today, so hopefully they can find that winner. But it's Woking that have got the ball on the left hand side now. Boston with Kelly wins the corner off Hill.
5th corner of the game for the hosts. I don't think it's the first one from this left hand side. Dale's showing me 6.
I've got 6.
I'll trust the man who usually counts the corners. First one in a while from the left hand side for Woking to try and deliver.
Boston United, everybody back. Here comes the corner. It eludes everybody. Ends up with a Sude on the far side. Can he deliver another cross? Boston looking to get the shape. That's great defending again by Bow. And Boston are coming forward now with Hill on the left hand side. a good tackle. Stops the momentum of Dylan Hill, who was bringing that ball forward. And it's a throw into Boston over on the left-hand side, the left-back area, and for Matty Carson.
A feature of the Boston defensive effort in the second half has been covering challenges by the wingers at Bow on a couple of occasions, and it was the same for Woking there. Asuji, the substitute, he was the man that was exposed to Hill's counter-attack and produced a fantastic covering challenge. Nothing but ball, and disrupted the Boston attack. There were amber shirts flooding forward. Hill did look as though he was heading up a bit of a dead end, and in the end a bit of real fantastic defensive work denied him a chance to try and create something.
Hopeful ball forward, but a Bow can't get on the end of it, and I've still got 5.5 minutes to go here. Ball forward from the keeper. Teal gets up. Hill then hooks the ball forward. Waldock can't win it in midfield, and it's Woking that are coming forward again now, and it's Asude who's looked a real threat since he's come on, but that's good play by Carson. He comes across and draws the foul, and if you're wondering why we haven't talked about stoppage time yet and we're still playing, it's a bit late. It's because, first of all, the game started late. The 3 up 3 down campaign, we started at 3 minutes past 3, and then there was a couple of injuries in the first half. We had 5 minutes added on, which for a first half is quite a lot these days, so we are playing catch up with the time, and there is still 5 minutes of normal time still to play, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Boston trying to find the late goal here. Not too many late goals available so far in the National League. It's Solihull Moors 3 Scunthorpe now. That's the latest change anywhere else. Plenty of games still in the balance.
Result, that.
Yeah, fantastic effort from Solihull. Wouldn't have had that one down today. As you mentioned, York, they've come from behind twice to lead against Morecambe. Altrincham, Carlisle, Rochdale, Sutton, all also winning at home. Tamworth are currently the only team away with a result. They're 2-1 up at Boreham Wood, and it's still 0-0 between Braintree Truro and Yeovil Southend, the two we haven't really mentioned. Yeovil, one of those two sides alongside Gateshead that could have gone above the Pilgrims today, albeit the Heed are 3-0 down at Forest Green.
Thank you, Christian. 1-1 here, and Stamford have gone 3 down at least, and they're going to be 9 points adrift from safety now. The Daniels, it's starting to look a bit of a mountain for them to climb. Spalding have been pegged back to Halesoe, and it's now 1-1 in that game. Here it's 1-1 between the Cardinals and the Pilgrims, as Reece Lovett has a goal kick to take. Boston United coming up then on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. We'll have reaction to this game on the radio between 5 and 6, but also on the Boston United podcast. Just search BBC Sounds. So go on BBC Sounds and search Boston United for all the latest. There'll be the press conference in the week and the build up to the Carlisle game, where myself and Mark Clifford will bring you commentary in the evening game in the National League next Saturday, before Boston make the trip to Yeovil at the end of November. And that's myself and Rob, and the last time we had an away game together it was Truro, so I'm sure it can be better at Yeovil in a couple of weeks' time.
Michael and I got a 3-0 there last year on the Tuesday night. One of the best in a crowded field in March for the Pilgrims, as Maguire gives away a free kick to a few ironic cheers from the home fans. It's now time for someone to wrestle these next 2 or 3 minutes. Boston twice have kind of had that little period of pressure, and on 2 occasions it's ended with Maguire firing over. You just feel, are the hosts going to have that one moment? I think that the way the game's gone, and we're presuming there's going to be 5 or 6 minutes added time, we've not really seen a 10-minute period without a bit of goal-mouth action. We've probably got 10 minutes left here. You do feel there's going to be one more big moment.
Woking took the free kick, the player fell over. It's now with Ockley on the left-hand side with Caleb Richards back to the centre half. Ockley, I think he thought about the shot there, but he brings it inside. Boston trying to win the ball back off Akinola. It's now on the left-hand side for Richards with the cross. It's headed away by Jordan Richards, and now there could be an opportunity here for a shot. Can Woking get the shot in? That's a brilliant block by Teal. Absolute, was it Teal?
It so often is. I think it was Teal again.
Brilliant block. Absolutely brilliant. That was goal bound. As it's another corner to Woking.
Yeah, it just dropped at this near post on the left-hand side. It was hit well, but well blocked.
Here comes the corner taken towards the back post. Gallagher gets his head away. Boston struggling to deal with it and hits the post. It was Asude with the shot. It's a great effort. Reece Lovett was beaten at his near post, and it comes back off the post.
Yeah, here we go then. They've weathered the storm the last 10 or 15 minutes Woking, and now they're going to have a period of their own to try and find this winner. The woodwork helping Boston on that occasion. Probably lucky it didn't hit Lovett, having hit the post and drop in. It went to safety. And
another long ball forward. Teal heads away. Now it'll be cleared by Lavineer, but Woking fancy they can get this late winner, still 1-1. We're into the last minute or so of normal time. Crossed into the box again. Boston just dealing with it. Walled up with a clearance and then headed on by Maguire. This is a clever clearance really towards Hawula, but Hawula's touch was heavy. Woking start again, and it's over on this left-hand side now with Jamie Andrews, but Abo, who's been outstanding defensively, in particular this second half, wins the ball back. Ball forward is headed away. Richards heads it forward for Boston United. Abo battling away, as is Maguire, then comes off Maguire's back. And can Boston win it back? No, they can't. It's Woking that are coming forward again. It's a turn from Akinola in the midfield as we're into that last minute of normal time, so we await the board for stoppage time. Asude now down that right hand side looking to go. He's made himself space. He's so fast, Asude into the area, pulls it back. Great clearance. Again it's Teal, just stuck his toe out there and did well, but what an impact he's made since coming on. Woking will start again here with the number 25 Forster Caskey as they look to try and win the game. Ball forward will just trickle through for a goal kick.
Asude had just gone there, as we've seen Maguire and Lovett both going down, trying to take the sting out of this one now. The second ball at that time, Asude had gone a little too early. He was trying to come back, get himself onside when the ball came through, so just wrong footed, but fantastic work initially. 2 touches to advance himself 30 yards down the line.
4 minutes.
So less than the first half.
4 minutes added here, yeah. And your prediction that we'll still be playing at 5 o'clock could be wrong.
Well, there we go. I still don't know if that's good for Boston or not. I know they've just had that period of 2 or 3 minutes. The home fans feel like they're playing for a point here, but I think they're just trying to take the sting out of the situation. They have had 2 really promising periods of attack in the last 10 or 15 minutes and just weathered the storm there as well.
I think it's a very unpredictable... I don't really can predict what Graham Cochran's going to think to this. I think there's good and frustrations at the same time.
I think you've got 2 teams that are unfussy how they create, have got multiple avenues of doing so. I think they're very well matched. I think we've seen 2 well matched teams, but that hasn't meant that they've neutralised each other. There's been plenty of peaks and troughs on both sides, plenty of periods of pressure, plenty of opportunities and balls in the box, and the sum of the parts is 1 goal apiece so far. I don't think you would sniff at that. I think Boston have shaded the second half to the value of 2 goals, maybe not. And
but then you would say the best chance of the game fell to Woking to win it, I mean.
And they've hit the post.
They've hit the post, and it was a great effort from Asude. But Sir Christian mentioned both Maguire and Lovett down, and both are absolutely fine. Maguire didn't even receive treatment. It was more the taking his time doing his boots, etc. As Lovett, the fans are counting down from 8 for him. Very nice for him. Plays it long towards Maguire, who heads it on. Abo's going to try and get in there, and he's just fouled the defender, which is frustrating. But it's a free kick to Woking.
Yeah, defender goes down facing their own goal. They tend to get the decision they did there, but Abo showed a bit of physicality, hasn't he? Trying to challenge. On 2 or 3 occasions we've seen him come out with the ball. And
I think he's been excellent. He's, if we were to ask you a player of the match for Boston, who would you pick?
I think Abo will be up there going forwards, and second half particularly his defensive work. John Lewis was a key influence, but Boston have done well without him. Gallagher's really impressed me as well, actually.
Me too. Abo lays that one off towards Maguire on the right hand side. No idea what's happening. Ball's got out. It's a Woking throw in. So we've got the dugouts in front of us here that just shade a little bit of the pitch from our view. Woking looking to try and win this. They've got 2 minutes to do it. It's a foul throw. Oh, it's a foul. Sorry, apologies, Richards. It was a foul on Abo, and it's on Lavineer, and it's a free kick to Boston United. Gallagher and Abo, I would have said. I think they're the 2 that have stood out.
Gallagher's looked really assured at centre half and dropped in there. An unfamiliar pairing, him and Teal clearly, and worked really, really well. We're 2.5 minutes in, but we're only really a minute and a half in. The game didn't get going until 91.
Boston United are coming forward, and Maguire tries an ambitious effort on goal. I'm quite sure what that was from Frankie Maguire. It's gone wide and it's a goal kick.
It's fairly needless because Boston had 3 or 4 forward there. They could have tried to craft something down this right hand side again, but for the 3rd time in about 15 minutes, Maguire harmlessly over the bar, and it just relieves that pressure again.
Oh, we're going to get a late winner. We're into the 4th minute of injury time, but we think there'll be another one added on, and Jaskalainen kicked the ball straight out. And Woking, it's interesting that it's probably the last 5 minutes that they've decided to have a go for the win. You'd think maybe a little bit earlier.
Maybe that's just the way that Boston have kind of wrestled that control. You would have thought that their thought would have been to try and get what, let's be honest, would be a rare home win. You mentioned the 4 draws in a row here.
Yep.
It feels solid, but it doesn't get you very far up the table.
It's a long ball forward from Woking. We're into that 4th minute, and it's Woking that are coming forward. Now Jordan Richards slips, it's Kelly. Plays the ball out to the right hand side. Woking looking to try and win this game late on. Boston looking to try and stop the cross, and Carson does really well there. It's cleared away, and again by Jordan Richards, and now it's time to see what Geordie Hawula can do against the defender here. Well, don't do that.
Don't foul him is the answer.
Defender goes down, gets the free kick, and Hawula, who we saw earlier, they certainly found him a handful, but we're over the 4 minutes. We feel there's probably another minute still to be played here on BBC Lincolnshire. 1-1 between Woking and Boston United. Jaskalainen is going to take this free kick for the Cardinals. Can they find themselves a winner? Can Boston see out what would be a good point? Goalkeeper goes long towards Asude. It hits him, but they looking to try and get the ball in the box with Drew. Pulls it back. Boston have got everybody back defending at the moment. Can they get the cross in here? Yes, they can, through Drew towards Andrews to substitute. Blocked by Hill. Can they get it clear as an offside flag up? And that will probably be that.
Well, Hill and Richards both slipped as the ball came in, but thankfully it didn't land to a Woking man, and in the end, when it did, they were offside, so Boston can take the time over this. As you say, I don't think we're going to see a great deal more. There's a bit of argy-bargy going on with substitute Boatswain and Teal, which the referee is going to have a late word about. I think we are settling in for a point here. A few home fans starting to make their way to the exits, and positives to take, and a little bit of frustration from the Pilgrims. They conceded a preventable goal. They've had opportunities in the first half to go ahead, and didn't take them. But second half they've been really strong. They've been the better side. Certainly deserved the one goal they've claimed in this second, and you could maybe build an argument that they could have pinched it. But last 5 or 10 minutes, Woking have been the side knocking on the door. I think the sum of its parts is a good away point. Boston arrest the small run of defeats they were on, and we'll hope to take a similar battling performance into the game with Carlisle.
Love it, taking his time to take the free kick. Goes long towards Jordan Richards on the left hand side. Ball goes out. We're into the 96th minute now. Of course, it's always a minimum. Referee, it's completely up to him how long they play. Flicked on. Boston head it away through Teal, and we still go on. So we're about to enter the 7th minute of injury time.
I don't think there's time for this.
Well, there's going to be one last bit of defending for Boston United. There's a throw in. We're 2 minutes over the allotted time. Andrews will take this throw. It's a long one towards the penalty area. Boston just need to clear this and do, and they get a point here. They stop the run of defeats, Boston United, by drawing 1-1 here at Woking. They were behind in the first half. Beautyman scoring after the half hour, but then just before the hour, Waldock equalising with his first goal for the Pilgrims, and Christian, it's a good point.
I think it's got to be always a good point on the road in the National League. Two well-matched teams come away sharing the spoils. I think looking at the body language, Woking frustrated, Boston realising they've worked hard, they've done well in the second half in particular, having gone in a goal behind, and given they've come here depleted with few options, not much they could do off the bench, they've done well to get back into a game that a bit of naive defending seemed to have got them away from.
We'll hear more from Christian on the Boston United podcast and on Hope and Glory for the final hour on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. But here it finishes: Woking 1, Boston 1.